Hello guys, hello. Hello guys. Welcome back to brand new stream. Brand new stream. Malaku. Istrika. Astrupuko. 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 Astrupuko.
Match found.
Astrupuko. Astrupuko. ए भाई क्या लगा बल लगा भाई ऐसा क्यों
You have good taste, my friend.
what I play you play dua you play dua bro सब dua हो जाए bro smoke bro you love you चलो जीजीस वाइपर जीजीस Vapor, Jesus, vapor. Twice. Twice. Sage. Eight. Viper. Sage. Eight. Viper.
Jit, you're very talented.
चलो करके क्या चीज़ लिख रहा है
Kill.
तेरा 68% तो पता चल रहा है कि तू नीचे रहेगा अरे ना
क्या
जीजी लिख रहा था ना
नहीं पता चलता क्या बोल रहा है
Reloading.
Play for banks.
Pick them off. Going A.
Terminus.
Sage, can you help me?
Healing you.
That works.
Reloading.
Push me.
They found my trap.
One backstep.
Here.
One enemy remaining.
लास्ट उधर है ए पे
Flawless.
यार right click मारा
Right.
भाई क्या right click ऐसे right click
और तो आवाज आवा ये नहीं आ रहा क्या ऑर्डर बड़ा कर रहा है
क्या आवाज आ रहा है भाई ये आवाज आ रहा है
क्लियर करो एक चैम्बर
शॉटगन जो है देखो
Do better.
स्पाइक कहाँ है? स्पाइक
स्पाइक ए के बी के बाहर है.
I have the spike. Got him. Plant the spike. They're dead.
One enemy remaining.
Spike's planted.
Flawless.
Bravo! You all did beautifully. One bullet per enemy. That should be enough, yes?
ए पुश करे क्या? ए हार्ड पुश करे, बी नहीं होगा 70%.
हाँ ए में साइफर है, बस देख के लेना भाई.
हाँ हाँ, मैं अपड्राफ्ट मारता हूँ.
Spike's here. Spike's here.
मैं अपड्राफ्ट डैश मारता हूँ. एक उसका ये रहता है, उसका ट्रैप इधर रहता है.
Here. Viper.
फ्रंट में एक रहता है, नीचे थोड़ा इतना हाइट में रहता है. ठीक है, वॉक करो.
अरे वाइपर भाई,
उसका कैमरा किधर है?
कैमरा इधर रहता है, राइट में.
एक मिनट पे
Cutting their vision. Cutting their vision.
Heal the पहले.
Spike planted.
Heal the.
Enemy spotted.
मेन है. At bomb shot.
अरे दो बंदे हैं, दोनों दो हैं.
वॉल क्या?
Last player standing.
What?
I don't play.
Heal.
Just gotta play around the slow fields and we're fine.
कोई नहीं, वैसे ही बोनस था ना, नाइस बोनस. एक नंबर वाट लगा हुआ है. चलो ये वाला जीतो.
Reloading.
कैमर मत ले हो दादा.
दादा खेल लूंगा दादा,
नहीं लगा.
भरोसा रख.
कल भरोसा रख रहा तेरे पे, चल भरोसा ही रख रहा.
अगर ये नहीं किया तो भरोसा मैं ले लूंगा.
Insight.
That's a good spot.
Reloading. I'll spike. I have the spike.
Spike down B.
Spike carrier killed.
भाई एंगल तो चेक कर रहे ना. अंदर की तरफ घुस रहा है.
Here.
Be fast.
ऊपर एक मिड लिंक. ऊपर एक मिड लिंक.
One enemy remaining.
लास्ट ऊपर है.
नीचे आएगा.
नीचे से आएगा.
Aw, thought you tried harder.
Weapon choice. It is so personal, no? You pick a
किसी के
gun
पास
and it
Vandals
tells
के
me
ना?
who you
ना
are.
अंदर की तरफ मत घुस ना, वो तो मेरे को पता है कि तू अंदर की तरफ
Vandals की नहीं,
घुस
किसके
रहा है.
पास?
एंगल तो चेक कर ले.
नहीं मैं उठाया.
फ्लैश डाल.
किसी के पास है
क्या?
वैंडल स्किन.
नहीं है, नहीं.
Stay safe.
ये मैंने छोड़े.
Kia. Enemy killed. My ult's ready.
A gift.
At वे 140 बैंक शॉट.
My ult.
उसको मारो, राणा को मारो.
One enemy remaining.
I have the spike. Last enemy taken out.
They are no match, though I
Need a drop.
cannot say I'm surprised.
Here.
Thank you.
Spike is here.
पर ले ले भाई स्पाइक इसी है
Reloading.
मैं नहीं प्लान करूंगा, हमेशा मरता हूँ मैं।
दे इधर ला इधर ला इधर ला इधर ला
That works.
इधर ला।
अब जेट पहले
You
मारेगा।
can't catch us.
प्लान करना आना अभी चाहिए ब्रो।
वही
Reloading.
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 लेफ्ट चेक।
That's a good spot.
Our spike's down. Spike
रोटेट करो
down.
रोटेट
B.
करो रोटेट कर लो
Trap destroyed.
Backstep on backstep.
One enemy remaining.
मारा
120 टैकल 120
वेल
Was that so
प्लेड।
bad? How embarrassing.
Who to smother first?
Reloading.
हाँ 8-2 चले 8-2 चले।
Thank you.
तो मालूम है अपन ए बी करें, फिर से भी करो, मैं तो बोलता हूँ
हाँ पॉइंट है
अपन
पॉइंट।
सब राउंड ए बी किए।
वो स्किन दे सेज।
Reloading.
तो कैसे मालूम है? स्पाइक
Stream time कर।
रुक जा
Spike's here.
I have the spike.
ए सेज रेस रेना पागल है क्या
मैं पीछे।
Down B.
भाई
भाई क्या कर रहे हो? बुंड बचाओ।
I know exactly where you are.
Last player standing.
सेज भाई क्या कर रहे हो भाई?
One dead.
सेज नाइफ तो है।
रेना पागल है क्या तू कैसे जा रहा है भाई दिमाग तो अंदर
Just let them try to catch me.
लड़की है क्या ये
अभी वो लोग
गेम सेंस से तो वही लग रहा है कि लड़की की तरह खेल रहा है
फेड आएगा 100।
दिमाग तो है
So dead.
Thank you. Cutting their vision.
Here.
रुको भाई आ रहा है।
That works.
Spike down A.
कल तक आना ना तुम लोग
Last player standing.
Fuck that shit. एक 8 से
You will not kill my healer down.
One enemy remaining.
विनेबल।
गन ले ले भाई गन है उन पे
एंटी रे नाइस भाई।
ये बढ़िया मारा बढ़िया।
Okay, we know the drill. Stick
If
to
का
your
था
roles
वरना
and we'll
clutch था ही।
crush it.
अरे नश स्किन है वैंडल
Reloading.
दे
Need a drop.
इसकी वैंडल
झूठ बोल रहा है ये का है
Reload.
यस
Need alone. Reloading.
Here.
Reloading.
Enemy spotted A.
Here.
Reloading.
Reloading.
That's a good spot.
Welcome to my world.
Rest. My
Here.
Rena tag.
Enemy spotted. Reloading. Healing you.
अरे मादर
Teleport's ready.
Tag it.
थूक फेंक डिफ्यूज कर रहा है हाफ हो
Enemy
गया है
remaining.
हाँ हाफ कर ली हाफ हो गया
जाए
हमारा भाई मारेगा.
That was good. Another round, yes?
हमारा भाई मारेगा ना भाई.
यार मेरे को वाइपर को नाइफ करना था हार जाएंगे इसलिए नहीं
लेना की
Reloading.
फाइनली
Thank you. Reloading.
साउंड मत देना रहना.
रिस्ट आगे आओ भाई, क्या पीछे खेल रहे हो?
भाई क्या रन कर रहा है बे चू.
Your duty is not over.
That was unpleasant.
Reloading. Enemy removed.
Again.
One enemy remaining.
अरे
Spike down B.
चैम्बर भाई थोड़ा आराम से है ना.
ये डालना चाहिए.
हाँ नाइस
नाइस.
Please do not mistake my smile. I take this all very seriously.
Reloading.
Reloading.
वाइपर ये चाहिए
नाइस
Let's go.
वाइपर मेरी वाली स्किन चाहिए.
Reloading.
हाँ
All give me senpai.
Sight. Sight.
नाइस सॉरी
Reloading.
That works.
क्या हमारे उन लोग के खिलाफ है
भाई
Reload.
Face your fear.
बैकस्टैप देखो बैकस्टैप देख बता रहा हूँ बैकस्टैप देख
Last player standing.
अरे कवर देना भाई, डेथ कोड नाम बस डेथ कोड.
सुनाई का दे रहा कुछ
अंधा
मैंने बोला बैकस्टैप है
Last
आवाज
round. Last one to switch.
बैकस्टेप देख ले, बैकस्टेप देख ले.
भाई मैं साइड जाके एक बंदा मार के बैकस्टैप देखना है पता है
और ये अब चैम्बर खड़ा खड़ा कर क्या रहा है?
भाई पहला बेड बनाया तुम लोगों ने. सालों कोई घुसे नहीं. मैं घुस रहा था अंदर से साइड पे ऑफ लेके.
तू क्यों घुस रहा है चैम्बर? तू मत घुसना, दो डुअलिस्ट है उनको घुसने दे.
कोई घुसने तैयार था स्टार्टिंग में.
तो
क्या
दिमाग
भाई
अंधा, तू उनको घुसने दे.
जाके एक बंदा मार के आया ठीक है बैकस्टैप
अरे भाई
देखने
भाई मरने के बाद तू गया अंदर. मेरे को मत बता.
तू स्पीड कम करना, थोड़ा डब्ल्यू कम चला.
मैं अभी स्पॉन पे खेलता. चलो
अल्ट करूंगा अल्ट
खत्तर पे खत्तर.
Reloading.
Last player standing.
हाँ भाई जेट तू बाहर ही खेल ले. वो लोग, वो बंदा पागल है ना अल्ट करके बैठा अंदर. है जेट? वो पागल है बंदा बैठा है.
भाई तीन बंदे तीनों मेन पे थे मैं क्यों जाऊं साइड
अरे बढ़िया भाई. वो स्मोक के अंदर तो खेल बच्चे को.
कौन मारा है
Switching sides.
पहले रहना होगा हमारा
We got this.
जज से तो अभी इतना भड़क रहा है।
शॉटगन से
जेट हंस मत तू, जेट तू हंसने लायक नहीं है, ठीक है? तेरे को स्मोक में खेलना था वाइपर के।
आए वो शॉटगन से मारा।
Here.
रहना वो बैट करने वाले ऐसे हंसते रहे, बेटर है वो।
अरे लौड़े भाई मैं मारा दे।
क्या मारा तू? क्या मारा? बैट कर करके बंदे को मार रहा है, मारा।
क्लच था, ठीक है क्लच था।
कोई क्लच नहीं था, मरा ना। कौन सा क्लच था? ये मरने के बाद कौन सा क्लच होता है?
अबे उनका क्लच था बस।
अरे चल बे।
You can do this Rena. अरे मिड से आ रहा कोई।
अरे लौड़े
I have them.
तेरे बहन सब गए भी गए।
बस बैंड 3 है भाई।
भाई एक 55 उसमें।
हिल दे जल्दी आ। हिल
Spike planted.
नहीं, मैं धीरे धीरे आऊंगा। एक दो
Eliminate. Here.
Last player
तीनों उधर है,
standing.
तीनों उधर है।
अरे बड़ा बहुत
बढ़िया एंट्री था।
Make them beg.
वाइपर तू बी खेल।
मैं बी वाला। हम लेंगे शेरिफ प्रो बनेंगे। ओए
मत ले शरीफ मत ले, आगेगा तू।
अच्छा अरे ऐसा बोलेगा।
फिर से मिड।
अरे भाई क्या शर्म नहीं।
रेना यार मेरे को बेट मत कर भाई, मैं तेरे को बेट नहीं करता यार।
चल बैकस्टैप।
Spike planted.
आगे जा।
क्या बेड बना रहे
यार बेट कर रहा है साले।
शर्म
लौड़े
कर रहे
कितने
थे।
पास
बेटर एक नंबर का।
लौड़े गन है उसके पास, ठीक है।
Enemy spotted B.
ठीक है देख रहा हूँ।
अरे लोड कर ले तू रहना भाई।
Reloading.
Last player standing.
देख लौड़ा बेट कर रहा है मेरे को। भाई मेरे को गन दे देता, मैं घुस जाता।
My city needs me.
Reloading.
I can't be away from
रहना भाई शर्म करो।
It's in these.
कौन
वैसे नीचे झूल रहे हो भाई।
मैं तो खुश हूँ भाई, वाइपर था उस वाले वाइपर से बेटर हूँ मैं।
That works.
वाह भाई ठीक है।
Stop their advance.
ओए ये कैसी वाल है?
Here.
ए पे क्या?
जाऊंगे मुझे लगता है। बीजा चल भाग तो। अरे भाई
एक मिड है।
अरे जय कवर नाम की कोई चीज है तुम लोग में?
भाई
Spike planted.
120 ज्यादा ही लो।
रोल कर
ये देख चैम्बर और धीरे धीरे जाएगा। अरे जाना भाई।
One enemy remaining.
My ult's ready.
वो मेन पे
लाइन अप पे खेल रहा मेन है।
एक देखो।
Last player standing.
बांचोद 132 भाई।
पता नहीं भाई कुछ 132 ने असिस्ट लगा तेरे को। असिस्ट दिखा कीड़ा
Actually
बनाता है।
thinks that would
नहीं आशीष ने दिखा, झूठ बोल रहा है।
देख रहा झूठ बोल रहा है।
एक नंबर का झूठा भाई। एक नंबर का झूठा। शर्म लाज भी नहीं है इसको भाई।
क्या
ये ना
50 की मारता है तो भी असिस्ट आते ही, ये बोलो 132 तो भी असिस्ट नहीं है।
अबे तू दिया भाई 32 132 32।
वो 100 ज्यादा निकल गया जरा सा। गलती से।
अबे सही बोलो कुछ नहीं दिया हो। भाई एस था बैंड
That's a good spot.
लौड़ा अच्छी।
देख मेरे को एस का भी मौका दिया, तूने मारा नहीं। देख बी आ रहे बी फास्ट।
ये मरेगा।
कौन मरेगा?
बी फास्ट।
अरे ये क्या है बैंचो?
ना बोलते
चीप है, मैं हगा भाई।
थोड़ा है।
ये बैक साइड है।
मुझे क्यों, मैंने क्या बिगाड़ा था उसका?
Spike planted.
जाएगा वो।
मारो, वो लोग मेन जाएंगे, उसके मारो।
Not kill my ally.
बैक साइड।
Last player standing.
गंदा फ्लेयर।
क्या बैक साइड मर गई।
वाइपर क्या मर रहा है यार?
Nothing but flies.
अरे मैं रिलोड कर रहा था, पिट गया मैंने।
भाई कितना मारू भाई, कंधा दर्द हो रहा है।
A gift.
वाइपर आर्ट्स जाके खेलना। आर्ट्स खेल। छोड़ देंगे।
इधर है।
सब भी है क्या?
हाँ सब है।
Face your fear.
One enemy remaining.
सिटी। हाँ उधर। कर ले,
Last player standing.
कर ले थ्रो।
चलो कर देते हो।
Teleport's ready.
We got a pick. We move in. Need a drop.
ड्रॉप दे चैम्बर।
Thanks.
बाप को ड्रॉप दे।
अरे बेटे को ड्रॉप देता हूँ। बाप से कोई समझ रहा, तू जोक समझ थोड़ा।
पहले शब्दों को कंप्लीट कर।
बाप बेटे को, मेरी बात सुन, बाप बेटे को पैसा था, बेटा नहीं था बाप को पैसा। इतना याद रखना।
ठीक है जो भी।
ठीक है भाई।
भाई ठीक है भाई, आप बड़ा मैं छोटे, ठीक है? आपका छोटा मेरा बड़ा, ठीक।
आपका छोटा ना, ठीक है। Fuck that shit. हो गया मेरा।
चैम्बर अगर आप 3 किल किए इस राउंड पे।
I know
मत
exactly.
मारो।
AR
ओए
हाँ कैसे?
अरे वो AFK है।
Teleport's ready.
MKT पुश।
इधर आ रहे। ए आ गए।
वाइपर का स्मोक यूज कर।
Enemy spotted.
गाली दे।
Spike planted.
Begins.
One enemy
Poison's
remaining.
gone.
भाई नाइफ किया उसको, नाइफ
Thank you.
नाइफ किया भाई उसको, प्लान कर रहा था नाइफ।
भाई मैंने भी नाइफ किया फेड।
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out
Anyone
of
have
here.
funds to spare?
वो आके केज डाल के कर रहा है भाई।
भाई
That's a good spot.
गेट
वो
वाइपर।
लाउड केज डाल के प्लान कर रहा है सब।
बेचारा पता वो यहाँ पे छुपा हुआ था, अब मैं यहाँ से क्या के इसको मारा है। मतलब क्या बोलते भाई, पब्लिक अपन बहुत अच्छा। चैम्बर
Healing.
Stealing sight.
You will not kill my ally.
There we go.
अरे ट्रेड लिख लिया वाइपर वाइपर अंदर घुसा हुआ है
आने दे वाइपर पीछे जा आने दे साइड आने दे अंदे
नहीं आएंगे
माँ का दूध
Spike
पिया तो
down
आएंगे
A.
पीछे जाएंगे अब
रुक इधर ही
वाइपर तू इधर है
वाइपर पीछे जा
इधर रहो ना भाई एक जन रहो ना इधर
मेरे को लग रहा है फिर से आएंगे भाई
हाँ
One enemy remaining.
हाँ ये पे ये
पे अरे तुम लोग बेन ट्रेड हो
30
सिल्वर हो क्या
Spike
खेलेगा
planted.
एक मिनट लेगा क्लोज खेलेगा
Blocking sight.
ये यार सरकार
Thanks.
मैं
Oh, was that important?
यस
Let's get these idiots.
132 दिया उसको साइफर को
शांत रहे
क्या भाई
अब हेटर्स बोलेंगे कि झूठ बोल रहा है अबे चैम्बर जरा दे ना एक शॉट मार के दूंगा
मार देना मेरी
अरे
चैम्बर
मिड
भरोसा
डोर्स खेल लो भाई मिड डोर्स खेल लो चैम्बर्स या वाइपर अरे घटिया
भरोसा रख एक
मार देना
मेरी जान एक शॉट
मिड डोर्स खेल इधर स्मोक
और का
बच्ची हगाना बच्ची देख फिर आजा गिरा दे नहीं आएगी गिरा दे ले
नाइस वन प्लांट कर रहे हैं लौड़ो
Spike planted.
एक सिटी
One less.
सिटी डेड
Teleport's ready.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
अबे
My ult's red. No charges left.
Match point.
I should have.
भौसड़ी के
Eternal rest.
स्किन दियो जय तेज हुआ
Does anyone have funds?
चैम्बर एक शॉट भरोसा रख
नहीं बच्ची पैसा
अबे यार, आ गया।
गिर गया
ले ये ले गन चाहिए
तो आप कर रहा है
मेरी गन चार्ज ऐसा मत कर
ड्रॉप मार किसको चाहिए
चोरी कर रहा है मेरी गन ये आदमी
हाइड हो जा
आ रहे हैं इधर
मैं वेट कर रहा हूं रुक जा मार दे रहना नहीं दिखा नहीं तेरे को मार दे उधर ही खड़ा रहे हिल रहा है नहीं उधर ही खड़ा है
Spike down. Attacker spawn.
उधर ही खड़ा है दो जन है नाइस
मैं करूं बस
One enemy remaining.
कट वे मिड है 140
Last player standing.
रैप दे दे उसको रैप गन लेके जाएगा ये
Your
Red
duty
bed.
is not over.
क्या वेट कर रहा है देख
मरेगा।
क्या वेट कर रहा
Blocking sight. For you. Blocking sight.
उधर जा
Your tactics failed. Defenders win.
हवे एक हो जाएगा ना 10:30 तक शायद। एक हो जावे। In the middle of the night.
Match found.
Lotus baby lotus.
You have good
Oi
taste, my
Snea
friend.
Whitey. Oi Snea Whitey. Oi Snea Whitey.
बहंडर गई
फॉलोअर तो है, फॉलोवर तो है।
फॉलोवर नहीं से सब्सक्राइबर बोलते हैं चोटिए
अबे सब्सक्राइबर फॉलोअर एक ही होता है बे।
नहीं भाई दोनों में फर्क होता है सब्सक्राइबर तो पैसे देते
अरे
हैं
फॉलोअर
follower
इंस्टाग्राम
तुम्हारी
पे,
गांड मारते
सब्सक्राइबर
हैं
यूट्यूब पे एक ही तो हुआ, फॉलो ही हो रहा ना भाई। भाग गई स्नेहा, भाग गई स्नेहा, भाग गई। वाह किया।
Match
दीदी
found.
भाग गई, स्नेहा दीदी भाग गई। स्नेहा दीदी फिर से नहीं आएगी। सामने आएगी स्नेहा। फल 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 फल। जेट मेरी जान।
You have good taste, my friend. Bonjour, Yoru. Your sunny demeanor is blinding as always.
There.
चार्जिंग हो बे, चार्जिंग हो जा, चार्जिंग हो जा, इतना अपने पास।
Got the spike! Concussing! That works. Blasting!
इधर इसके पीछे
Reloading!
Careful here.
इधर देखना इधर कोई है।
Here.
Reloading.
रुक जाओ, फ्लैंक है।
एक ट्रैप, दोनों ट्रैप टूट गए।
Our spikes down.
Multiple enemies B.
Spike down B.
रुक यूरो आ गया, रुक।
ठीक है तीनों इधर हम रोटेट भी कर सकते हैं।
Reloading.
यूरो भाई ओपी,
कर लो, आ जाओ।
यूरो भाई ओपी,
Last player standing.
यूरो भाई ओपी,
Spike down mid.
यूरो भाई ओपी।
नाइस।
I have the spike.
30 seconds left.
Teleport's gone. Spike planted.
बैंग कान टपरी हो गया बे सीधा। ऐसा लगता है ना, बहुत दर्द होता है इस शॉट में। ये सब शॉट नहीं रखना चाहिए बे।
Their jet has nothing on me. I got her.
There.
Here. Killed them. Terminus. Time to jump. My ult's not ready.
गन तो
Gun here.
उसके ट्रैप्स होंगे।
Plant the spike. Gun here.
ये राजा
लॉन्गा प्लान दे। लॉन्गा प्लान दे।
Planted.
मिड साइड। रेना आ गया इधर। 36 है।
60।
Flash out.
One enemy remaining. Last player
इसको
standing.
बोलते हैं प्रो प्लेयर। नाइट मार के आ गया, ठीक है। इसको बोलते हैं प्रो प्लेयर। नाइट मार के आ गया मैं, ठीक है वो। नाइट मार के आ गया भाई।
That was good, but there is more to do. On n'est pas sorti de l'auberge.
जोड़ है भाई, जोड़।
Here.
मेरे को लगा भाई शॉटगन गन लेगा मिड में 2 गन लेंगे
यार हीरो मेरे बॉडी पे गन है जा
Last player standing. Spike down B.
Time to jump. Fake teleport. Cutting through. I got the spike. Fake teleport.
30 seconds left. Thrifty.
भाई उसने साइबर क्या शॉट मारा तूने देखा नहीं
I don't care if there are 5 of them or 50 of them. Let's go.
They are so dead.
चैम्बर भाई देना ब्रो बोनस राउंड खेल लेता
क्या बोल रहा है
भाई देना
ब्रो फिर मेरे को नेक्स्ट राउंड बाय नहीं आएगा इसके लिए अल्ट पे खेल रहा हूं यार
This is gonna be
फ्रेंजी
fun.
तो भाई दे दे
Here.
पेड़ खेल रहा था
That's a good spot.
Enemy spotted A. Insecto.
Here.
I have the spike.
I know exactly where you are.
My ult ready.
I have here.
Decoy.
30 seconds left.
मार 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 इसको
Enemy
Spike down B.
I'm enjoying this.
अरे गाना है लेना बॉडी पे गाना ब्रो लेना का बॉडी पे गाना
Here.
10 seconds left. Last
Spike is
player
down.
standing. One enemy remaining.
Have the spike.
Spike down B.
If you're not being shot at, you're doing something wrong.
right there. On my way. Let's go. I'll handle this. Dusted. My ult's ready. Here. And here. Decoy. Miss me?
अरे स्पाइक लगाओ तपाई
Spike gone. A gift.
Gun here.
गार्ड करेगा
Any blinding?
One enemy remaining.
Gun here. Reloading. Gun
Gun.
here. Deep breaths, everyone. Your hearts are pounding.
Need a drop. Thanks.
अरे बॉम्ब तो ले ले भाई, बॉम्ब ले ले रे, बॉम्ब ले ले।
Cutting through.
Duck, my ult's ready.
मैं नहीं जा रहा उधर से भाई।
One enemy remaining.
Hell of a job.
ये ले यूरो प्लान कर तेरा ये वो आएगा और आएगा, छोड़ मैं ही करता हूँ।
Here.
लॉन्ग आ रही है क्या?
हाँ ये कहाँ छुपा है ये लौंडा? बैक स्टेप दे आ सकता है देख देख।
हाँ बैक स्टेप दे।
Teleport's ready.
Their lives are so meaningless. Might as well
Give them to me.
आजा ये मेरे पे आल्ट तेज आ सकता है आजा। ये आजा ये अब मेरे पे आल्ट है।
My ult's ready. Going A.
आजा आजा मेरे पे आल्ट है आजा आजा।
जा जा मिला बैठ जा।
आजा 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 आजा। इधर पे थोड़ा शिफ्ट कर, इधर पे शिफ्ट कर थोड़ा।
Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down A.
Hi. I have the spike.
Last player standing.
120.
बता भाई रहने दे भाई। What? भाई जेट वेलकम वेलकम टू भाई अपना जेट उनका जेट भाई
Let's get these
मजा आ
kids.
गया भाई। आजा आजा ए पे आना सबके सब भाई।
Need a drop.
जेट मेरे फ्लैश में मस्त किल्स निकाल लेगा तू आजा, मेरे को पता है, मेरे को
जेट
पता
से
है
किल नहीं और इसने लर्न कर रहा है बेचारा।
हाँ आजा भाई। अरे इधर पे शिफ्ट कर थोड़ा सा वरना काय वर्ल्ड कप देगा, मैं वो नहीं कर पाएगा।
Behind me.
बैक के तो भाई
तो
पीछे।
शिफ्ट कर, इधर शिफ्ट कर, हीरो नीचे कूदो ना, आउट चला जाएगा।
भाई तो आगे एंट्री दे भाई।
मैं एंट्री डू दिस फॉर यू।
नहीं नहीं जेट को बोल रहा हूँ।
रुक रुक आगे मत मेरे पास उन्होंने डाले।
cutting their vision.
चल 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 चल
I got this.
Down.
Spike down A.
Reloading.
इधर मारने आएगा मुझे।
Last player standing. Flawless.
ये बंदे चूतिए हैं।
I'm amped. Let's go. I got things to do.
There.
Spike's here.
शिफ्ट टॉक का थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट टॉक कर.
Where the hell's the spike?
स्पाइक लेके जाओ कोई.
रिस्पेक्ट तो लेके आ भाई.
Flash out!
Enemy spotted. I got the spike.
Reloading.
Careful here.
दो लोग भी लिंक नहीं चलते हैं. मैं फ्लैश है मेरे पास.
There.
यहाँ से फ्लैश दूंगा.
एक
वेट कर.
गेमन गया. एक गेमन गया.
Decoy.
So close.
नाइस नाइस. प्लान करो प्लान करो प्लान करो.
एक आर्ट्स आ रहा है.
Face your fear.
अरे दोनों इधर ही है. दोनों इधर है साइड. फ्लश कर फ्लश कर फ्लश कर फ्लश कर.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
भाई
अरे यूरो भाई इधर से प्लान कर.
क्या प्लेयर से भाई.
ये सब जगह अगर उधर ही करना है तो.
Okay, we know the drill. Stick to your roles and we'll crush it. Reloading.
Right there.
काय आला. हा
Right there.
They are so
काय माहिती
dead.
वरती आहे. मला नाही माहिती. वरती गेम खेळतो.
बे स्पाइक ले ले.
Careful. Got the spike.
Careful.
I can't use that.
Enemy spotted B.
I can't use that.
Enemy spike.
That will heal.
Who?
They will cover.
One enemy remaining.
Spike planted.
Ah! 70.
I know exactly where you are.
Last player standing.
We get a pick, we move in. Got it?
I need a drop.
चेम्बर ड्रॉप देना ब्रो.
Need a drop. Thank you.
रिवील करेगा.
Focus now. Eyes off me.
Your fault.
Nice,
My
dude,
ult's
nice.
ready.
भी चलता है.
साइफर है बी पे.
थोड़ा सोलो खेल ना.
148 भाई.
Last player standing.
That one's dead. I can't use that.
Too slow.
Nice.
इधर से पुश कर रहा है एमबी में सा.
One enemy remaining.
That's 3. I have the spike.
रिलोड कर लियो.
30 seconds left.
That's a good spot.
अबे
10 seconds left.
Spike planted.
प्यारे 3 शॉट्स मारे भाई.
Last round in the half.
Need a drop.
Spend it out before it's gone.
Mesdames, messieurs, the spike.
Get out of my way.
Spike dropped.
अबे 78 है फ्लैश मार दे. What the fuck?
Last player standing.
You are
Switching
divided.
sides.
I hate waiting. Let's do this.
A gift.
They forget their place.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Enemy spotted. A.
Reloading.
Nice.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
I'll do my job, you do yours.
Here.
Jumper.
Multiple. Jet 7. स्टन मारा जा.
Spike planted.
Nice. Jet low, jet -80. इधर है क्या इधर? एक फ्लावर आ रहा है.
Last player standing.
लोअर है वो साइड पे.
One enemy remaining.
55 है ये.
Shut up and let me work.
8
एक फ्लावर आया वो पानी की वजह से.
Time to take these arms for
बे
a spin.
ऐसे भाई चैट देखूं तेरा भाई. अगर कॉल देता ना जैसा वो ने सुना आर्ट है फ्लावर है भाई तब तक दिखा भाई. तो चैट थोड़ी देखेगा कोई भाई.
That works.
We win to survive.
मल्टीपल बी.
Get out of my way! Reloading.
Trap destroyed.
Last player standing.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
That's a good spot.
Watch this. Enemy spotted mid.
ये में ना गए.
Take teleport.
Grounded.
Last player standing. Spike planted. Match point.
Please do not mistake my smile. I take this all very seriously. A gift. Gun here.
Enemy spotted A.
Face your fear!
They will cover.
Teleport's ready.
Spike planted. Last player standing. Attackers win.
एक सेकंड गाइस, बीसीडी चालू कर देखते हैं अपन. एक मिनट. वॉशरूम जा गया मैं.
has to be its new thing. And I think it's going to be a new kind of piece of proof for that core, for those leaders in Finesse and in Chet, that they can do it again. They were the best team of the pre-partnership era, and now they have to almost start over from not quite scratch, but just like a little pancake mix.
I mean, they can do it again. I think it really goes to how good that the core of Crashies, Victor, and Finesse really are. But you think will secure a spot at Masters Tokyo, an extra spot even, with a win here at the lock-in.
GI
Results
fighting
are
GA.
in, and you guys picked, drumroll.
Which region
it
will
was
win?
Americas.
America
But just,
37.
wait, EMEA came third?
Hey, look, we got a lot of countries now from
Pacific
Pacific that are
34.
joining in. There's a lot of fans
Game
out
is
there from regions like
how
Thailand,
is
Malaysia,
it, bye.
etc. So they're coming out, they're representing. That's good, but as we anticipated, the LATAM, the Brazilians, the Americas, it was just too much.
That's kind of what's exciting for me about like this new league format in general, is that all of these teams, all these kind of regions that were so fractured before are now like very much together into like one set of teams to cheer for. So it's going to be really exciting to see that, especially with that big Pacific fan base.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the 1.8% of the people that voted China, because they're going to look really big-brained if it does happen.
Do a poll on Weibo and see what the results look like.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very different there. But just before we get into everything else, I want to quickly talk about this NRG versus Koi matchup again, because do you see it as of like a team that we know exactly what could happen versus a team that we literally don't have any opinions on? Or is there somewhere in between?
I think there's about an equal amount of information on both these teams. They're both coming in with a core, with leaders from a previous roster, but they've brought in a lot of new players that I think will fundamentally change the way that they are playing Valorant. On top of that, it is a brand new meta. I think anyone that is looking at that event, looking at these teams and being like, hey, I know exactly how this is going to go. I know what's happening. Like, it's just foolish. These guys could all pull out anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I give a bit more credit to the foundation that is there, coming over from Optic for Energy, slotting in the firepower of artists. But at the same time, when you're going up against a team that you don't know much about, that you see these players, you know what they're capable of, you see the accolades they have accumulated for themselves in the past, and then you don't really have that much of an info read as far as what they're going to be playing, what maps they want to go to. That can always catch you off guard, and that can be enough to lose a series.
More importantly, though, will NRG be able to get over that European team curse? Now they joined the European player.
I mean, there's a lot of curses working against them in this one. Not only with the European teams that they've very much struggled against, but also first matches.
चालू हो गया भाई 16,000
lot of prep in. They've talked about that. They have minimal information, and that kind of makes them nervous.
Well, it's time to wrap this up. Of course, we have a massive game coming up for you guys. It is NRG versus Koi. It's going to be kicking off the first event of VCT 2023. Of course, the largest Valorant tournament we have ever had. This is single elimination, do or die, and only one team can make a perfect run. Lock-in starts right here, right now. Let's go, baby!
Let's go. Let's fucking go. Entries दिखा दिया लगता है. Entries in all दिखा दिया रे शायद. मिस क्या होना. आज ही चालू करोगे ना भाई, आज ही चालू करोगे ना भाई। येड़े चाले नहीं, येड़े चाले नहीं। येड़े चाले नहीं, छी क्या तुमने ले भाई। अपन वीडियो देखते, मामा आएगा तब तक।
रुक सी गई when I was detected with brain tumor.
बिखरने का मौसम।
So hello, assalamualaikum, namaste, sat sri akal, keem cho, kaisa hai, keem nacho, ram guys, welcome back to another amazing vlog and to amazing another day. So guys, अभी उठ चुके हैं अपन लोग and बहुत ज़्यादा नींद में हूँ। आवाज़ से पता लग गया, मेरी आँख और किसी वजह से नहीं, आवाज़ से पता लग जाता है। वैसे तो रिपोर्टिंग टाइम 10:30 बजे था, लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा ओवर स्लीप कर गए, बहुत ज़्यादा थके हुए थे, कल ज़्यादा सोए नहीं थे, जिसकी वजह से आज शायद ज़्यादा सोना हो गया। कृतिका भी होटल से आ गई है, वो अभी अपना रेडी हो रही है। आज उसका बहुत ही अमेजिंग सरप्राइज़ है, मतलब टू द पीपल हु आर गोइंग टू कम टू कॉमिक कॉन। हम लोग को तो पता है, लेकिन अभी दिखाएंगे, ठीक है ना। एंड आज के दिन के लिए मैंने एक बहुत ही अमेजिंग चीज़ प्लान करी है। प्लान क्या करी है, मतलब कल मेरे दिमाग में आया कि मतलब आदि के लिए कुछ करना चाहिए, ऐसा टाइप करके। सो लेट्स सी, कॉमिक कॉन में अगर कुछ हो पाता है तो विल सरप्राइज समथिंग, अगर नहीं होता है तो मतलब होगा नहीं, क्योंकि अब हमने सोच लिया, जो सोच लिया फिर हम अपनी भी नहीं सुनते। सलमान भाई 2023 लेट्स गो। काट लो डॉलर, पिटाई कर दो इसकी। हाँ, पिटाई कर दो इसकी। तो आज आपका क्या प्लान है, कुछ एक्सक्लूसिव करने का?
एक्सक्लूसिव करने का तो ये प्लान है, देयर इज अ लिटिल बिट चैलेंज जो मैं आप सबको वहाँ पे मोस्टली दूंगा।
अच्छा,
कंप्लीट करना
अच्छा
है। एंड बहुत लोगों से मिलने की आज उम्मीदें है, क्योंकि आज कल रात को बहुत लोग आए थे स्ट्रीम पे।
अच्छा,
एंड ऑल्सो सोने का प्लान है, सोए नहीं बहुत तरीके से।
सोने का प्लान है?
यस ब्रो।
अच्छा, चैलेंज क्या होगा?
चैलेंज ये होगा कि आप लोगों को मेरे लिए कुछ चीज़ें लेनी पड़ेगी आपके पैसे से। यस,
ये तो एक्चुअली चैलेंजिंग है। अरे गाइस, कोई तो बहुत ही ज्यादा सुधर गया है भाई, कोई तो बहुत ही ज्यादा अच्छा हो गया है।
इतना ग्लो क्यों कर रहे हो तुम आज?
ग्लो क्यों कर रहा हूँ?
हाँ, तुम्हारे हट गया, वाइट हेड हट गया।
हाँ भाई, लेकिन अब वो काल
भाई, लेकिन तुम्हारे कितने व्यूअर्स को भी नहीं पता वो क्या, मेरे को भी लगता था वो नेचुरल है
भाई। वो अंदर से इतना उसमें से वाइट
कैसे सब लोग को याद है, मामा के चेहरे पे कुछ था इधर, है ना? वो स्पीड ब्रेकर था, वो जो डंप था, ऐसा कैमल डंप होता है। हम
उठ गए। हम तो यार डेली अच्छे से यार उठ जाते सही टाइम पे यार। हाँ क्या?
भी आ गई।
वो तो करना है, चैलेंज कौन रिकॉर्ड करेगा फिर। हम लोग निकल रहे हैं अब कॉमिक कॉन के लिए, और कृतिका ने बिल्कुल स्ट्रिक्टली मना किया है कि जो है कोई नहीं आएगा, उसको अभी कोई नहीं देखेगा। पता नहीं वो कहाँ है, क्या कर रही हैं, कुछ नहीं पता। अभी हम लोग निकल रहे हैं, बहुत अल्ट्रा लेट हो गए हैं, सिर्फ और सिर्फ कृतिका की वजह से गाइस। मैं हमेशा ऑन टाइम रहता हूँ, और केतन और सिट भाई की वजह से भी लेट हो गया है। वो लोग बहुत लेट किए, आदत बिगड़ जाती है, अब रहने लग गया है ना वो थोड़ा सा।
चालू हुआ क्या? नहीं हुआ रे, नहीं हुआ।
आदि, उसको कॉल कर, कहाँ है वो?
कौन? अच्छा, कृतिका।
हाँ,
बोल रही है, अलग आ रही है।
अलग आ रही है?
गाड़ी अलग में आ रही है, कुछ सरप्राइज।
तुझसे बोलो भाई जल्दी आए, हम लोगों को भाई लेट हो रहा है।
भाई स्क्रिप्टेड है भाई। स्क्रिप्टेड तो है।
हमारे ड्राइवर जो है मिस्टर केतन,
बहुत हेवी है।
हाँ, बहुत हेवी है मिस्टर केतन।
मैं ड्राइव करके जा रहा हूँ सिर्फ बाकी गाड़ी, देखते हैं आज एमजी कैसा परफॉर्म कर रहा है।
एमजी को कुछ मत बोल दिया, टाटा की भेड़ी।
too geeky to be preaching, I just show out. Winning and it's looking like a blowout. Pile up my paper, let it grow out. If it ain't about no money, I don't go out. I'm too geeky to be preaching, I just show out. Winning and it's looking like a blowout.
तो गाइस बस अभी पहुंच ही गए हम लोग और आज एक्सपेक्टेशन था कि ज़्यादा लोग आएंगे बट पता नहीं इतने लोग थे नहीं थे। अरे क्या हाल है अर्जुन भाई? ये हमारा ख्याल रखता है पे। हाँ अभी आदि आ रहा है। अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है। तो फिर ये आप ही आपको एक्स्ट्रा एक्सेस है क्या कहीं का? तो ये मैं ही रख लेता हूँ। कल कंटेंट रिकॉर्ड करा था नहीं करा था भाई? कल कंटेंट रिकॉर्ड करा था नहीं करा था? थोड़ा बहुत किया था। तो गाइस ये सिड भाई का इवेंट ब्लॉगर है। ये मुंबई के हर इवेंट में आता है। तो सिड भाई ने कहा कि जब तुम आते ही हो तो अपने साथ रहो और सिड भाई के लिए ब्लॉगिंग भी कर देता है वो। फिर तो इजी मेरे को वो करना है, मतलब उनकी वजह से नहीं, मतलब वो करना है मेरे को। सिड भाई करोगे मेरे साथ? क्या? वो जो पीछे हो रहा है चांस ही नहीं है। करो ना, चांस ही नहीं है। करो ना। डांस करने के लिए मेरे को एक चीज चाहिए होती है, तो यहाँ वो क्या है? अवेलेबल नहीं है। क्या है वो? हाँ क्या है वो? एनर्जी ड्रिंक, एनर्जी लाइम जूस, रेड बुल वगैरह। अच्छा रेड बुल, अच्छा। इसके अलावा डांस नहीं होगा मेरे से, वो भी इतने लोगों के सामने। करो ना, चांस ही नहीं है। सो गाइस हम लोग यहाँ पे फाइनली आ चुके हैं विंडोज 11 बूथ अरीना में हम लोग आ चुके हैं। सो अभी मेरा मीट एंड ग्रीट चालू होगा। बहुत एक्साइटेड हूँ क्योंकि जब भी मीट एंड ग्रीट होता है या कोई भी एक्टिविटी होती है लोगों के साथ, कल 1v1 था फैंस के साथ, आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, तो मैं बहुत ज़्यादा मेरे लिमिट से चालू करते हैं। ये आप HDR आपको फुल आप पिक्चर को देखते हैं, स्पीड अप कर देता है, जो इंश्योर करता है आउट हो गए ये हैं लाइक हियर। क्योंकि लास्ट टाइम सिड भाई ने मेरे को शॉपिंग करवाया था कपड़े का, आपने उनका ब्लॉग देखा होगा जिसमें एक सेल्स वुमेन ऐसे कर रही थी, याद है ना तेरे को? आदि यस। तो आदि का लवेबल प्लेस है ये, क्योंकि आदि वन पीस का फैन है। तो तेरे को जो भी दिखे यहाँ पे आज तेरे लिए मैं खरीद दूंगा, ठीक है? क्योंकि आदि को बहुत चीज़ें अच्छी लगती है लेकिन खरीद नहीं पाता, घर पे पैसे वैसे बेचता है, इस वजह से। कोई बात नहीं बाबू। कितने साल का है? 19 साल का है। अरे बाबू ये खिलौने मेरे को सारे पूरा डब्बा चाहिए, मेरे को पूरा डब्बा चाहिए भाई। 650. It's for the kids. These are for the kids. These are the set of four. We have superheroes. सिमचार वाले मत। We also have Tom and Jerry.
रिंकीला सिंगापूर में
भाई जल्दी।
I think that we will see a lot of teams taking the veto like Koi, where you're just getting rid of those two. I guess split's not new, but the.
आदि उसको कॉल कर। मेरा मीट एंड ग्रीट चालू है। तो आदि का तेरे को क्या चाहिए बाबू? यहाँ पे भी वन पीस दिलवाऊँ तेरे को? नहीं है तेरे पास? ठीक है शौक से, लेकिन पहनने के लिए जूस से नहीं। शॉपिंग डन फॉर मी एंड सिड भाई। छोटू ने अभी तक कुछ नहीं लिया है, हम बड़ा हाथ मारे। यहाँ पे मॉडल भी आया हुआ है, कैसे हो? बढ़िया हो? मॉडल अभी आएंगे आप मिलने के लिए? आइएगा तो मुझे आपसे मिलना है, बिग फैन। कितने का है ये वाला गोकू वाला? हाँ 9.5 वॉट 7,000 का है।
Anything you want to customize, वो customize।
एंड वो कितने दिन में डिलीवर हो जाएगा?
3 to 4 weeks में मैन्युफैक्चर।
3 to 4 वीक्स में?
ये सारा हैंडमेड है।
अच्छा सो गाइज मैं ये वाला जो है इन लोगों से कस्टमाइज करवा रहा हूँ इस वाले साइज में। सो गाइज फाइनली आदि को उस जगह मिल गई है। हाँ चाहिए तो बोल, वो मत कर। पीछे से क्या देख रहे हो सिड भाई? मेरे को यही चाहिए मामा। यही चाहिए आपको? मेरे को अब यही चाहिए। मेरे को ये चाहिए। मैं टेबल पे मेरे को यही चाहिए। अरे ये एनीमे बहुत अच्छा है। हाँ अच्छा बहुत बढ़िया एनीमे। कौन सा एनीमे? That time I got incarcerated.
ऐसा स्लाइम ठीक है ले लो ले लो
मैं भी ये वाला ले रहा हूँ
ठीक है ले लो
घूमने वाला
ठीक है ले लो
ओपन करके दिखेगा क्या लेकिन वो अरे मतलब डब्बा 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 बोल रहे
गिर गया है आदमी
डब्बा बोल रहा हूँ डब्बा
अच्छा बोलो तो सही उनको निकालने को
हाँ नाम बता देना 30 हाँ ये वाला 30 ये ले रहे 30 बहुत अच्छे 3-4 सीजन है वो एनिमे के यार वो घूमने वाला सिर्फ डिस्प्ले में लगा के रखा है
हाँ तो ठीक है ना कुछ और देख ले
हाँ देख
तो गाइस ये मेरी शॉपिंग है ये मैं ले रहा हूँ वेजिटा गुआन ये बड़ा गुआन दिस इज हार्ड डॉग दिस इज ये गोकू है शायद छोटा वाला हाँ गोकू है एंड ये सिड भाई की चॉइस है सिड भाई इतनी अच्छे मेरे चॉइसेस में मैं नीचे ला रहा था तो यहाँ रुक गया
बढ़िया ही है वो उसका स्टोरी बहुत अच्छा है
अच्छा क्या है
मेरे को नहीं पता मैंने देखा
क्या दिख गया तेरे को
बहुत कुछ सीख गया क्या मस्त
हल्का हाथ रखियो आराम जाते
एकदम हल्का है
हेलो क्या हाल है मेरे को हेल्प करो ना मेरे को वो वाला दिखाओ ना अच्छा इसका बाकी के बाल नहीं दिख रहे थे ये कितने का है
बाउंड्री भी खबर पड़ी गई
अच्छा
चलो बाय बाय
सुपर फैन 3 इधर इसका और एक हेड भी है रिप्लेस कर सकते हो 2 भी है 3 भी है
अच्छा ये मुझे को ये चाहिए हाँ तो फिर ये मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छे से पैक कर दीजिए तो तेरे को कुछ समझ में आएगा इसको हर जगह स्पॉइलर दिख रहा है भाई इतना चूजी होना क्या ये लूफी का
इतना छोटा इतना बड़ा बॉक्स है देखो
हाँ अच्छा है ना मेरे वाले का सब बॉक्स देख ले खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है
बस ये बता तू हैप्पी है कि नहीं है एकदम बहुत ज्यादा है कैसे पता लगेगा दिखा तो सही हैप्पीनेस तो दिखा बहुत छोटी चीज रह गई
क्या क्या अबे क्या है यार अरे ये कौन है प्रोफेशनल बेटर जिसकी अल्टी कभी हमारे काम नहीं आई ओ भाई भाई सच में सही में सेज लग रही हो बे ओ तेनू अरे ये ग्लो कर रहा है बे इस पे अभी अच्छा तुम्हारे
And the timing on that was perfect. The flash comes through just as the orb drops from Som. See, Victor got to be careful here. The wide swing, Coldamenter isolates the first, but Som good for the trade.
Shados, come
will
on.
find a response. It's a Killjoy 1v1 here.
It's your dream come true, Mike. Ultimately, the timer going to be coming up now. Spike is safe to get back in hand. That's fine. 35 seconds. Going to secure the flank, make sure nothing's there. He has no idea where FNS is for now. So he's going to try and play it smart and play it safe, but a fight is inevitable. And the angle for FNS...
How deep does he clear on sight here, though?
That's the question, isn't it? A quick glance, and the shot's good! Shados! A slap back to NRG. And a reminder that as much as, yes, the core of NRG has got champions, so does Koi.
Yeah. A fantastic round from NRG. Obviously, the early exploration towards mid. They don't
like
overstep the mark there, but it's the timing for me. That poison orb up, just draining time, forcing Koi to sit there, really. And it would be a massive overextension to force their way past that. But immediately, as soon as that poison orb cooldown is coming in, there's 3 people to come through. Swing on the back of that flash. Perfectly executed, but unfortunately, Koi good for the trades.
Yeah, Trex was a bit of a superstar in that as well, kind of keeping them relevant in that fight that was happening on that 4-play stack towards B. So right back into the round, we're looking at the purchase coming out from NRG. It's very limited, so again, looking at the silver linings, we're looking at orbs, we're looking at any kills, anything they can build up into this. It won't be too much to write home about. And the stack slowly working its way back around towards this B side. So again, for Koi, keeping them cool. A player like Wolfen needs to get comfortable on the stage. We haven't seen much from him in the past to this caliber. This is going to be a very big game to start on, but he's surrounded by some very experienced players.
A couple of Cobra frags here. That'll definitely be the start he'll be looking for, but Koi once again looking to plant the seeds of emphasis towards the B site. Obviously with Sages on both sides of this map here. Nothing spotted out with the Aldo here. I'm not sure actually if top site was spotted there. It was Crashies up there. The wall's going to go up. We're going to try and get a bit of a deeper plant here, but it's dealt with immediately.
Yeah, very quickly now. Trex again, still going to be good for it, finding Crashies. Second bite to the cherry for the plant. That's going to go down uncontested. So safe plant here and now into the post plant. A little bit of chip damage on Victor, but let's see if any damage could be found. There's no flank coming into play. Still going to have the turret keeping watch onto that, so no worries there. They just need to try and keep this one as safe as they can. Have the rifles. This shouldn't be a problem here, Mike.
No, definitely not. Should be a comfortable cleanup as well. Shados to find 3. Trex will find the final kill for the Prime Gaming Flawless here in round 2. They come into this round, whether or not Koi will try and throw something, a little bit of a pace change here. Try and enable Wolfen early on in this half, but the things I'm looking forward to really is how they're going to test this Killjoy setup on the side of NRG. Whether FNS is going to show a little bit of variety here.
I'm considering the conditioning now, right? We've only seen these B hits coming through.
Exactly,
They've been relatively all in. There hasn't been that presence here. They did knife and they did walk mid, but they didn't explore beyond that.
First buy round's too early to force the adjustment from NRG just yet. So.
Absolutely. That will be in the back of their mind, though, I'm certain. And let's see what Wolfen can get up to here. Proactive beginnings and a quick
Turret
start.
dealt with immediately. That's literally big tick in the box for me at the start of this round. Flash does actually catch Ardis, but look how aggressive this is. Looking to flash all the way into spawn here outside B. On the back of that information, Ardis will throw the wall up.
Yeah, talk about trying to bring Ardis into play. That is something I want to keep my eye on, is how well do they make this man work. As I said, still sticking around here, not going to back away from this. He does have Victor not far behind. He's actually got the rotate coming through from Crashies as well. These two are rabid in approach. They
Chomping at the
desperately...
bit. There's 3 people here for
They're willing
NRG.
to brawl. This is ridiculous, considering 0-2 down in this. Not a terrible start, but, you know, still willing to battle this out. And they did great chip damage on towards Cold and Mentor, so that could be something to note in the future. But again, you still have Sage there, so should be brought back up nice and quick. But Ardis gets punished by Wolfen, exploring on his own. No utility to attempt a motion, but it's Victor to quickly quell that. Falling away towards the site, but Koi want in.
Unfortunately, 26 HP on Victor, nearly caught off guard there. RG have to try and find a response to this. Actually, the wall comes up. Nobody's swinging on the back of it, but actually, the lockdown invested here will clear some space, but Snowman's still playable here for NRG. Should at least guarantee the plant, though.
Oh, Stuffzo's in trouble. Needs to be really careful about this. They're taking a fair amount of chip damage for themselves, but should have enough time off the back of the KJ ult to at least get the plant down. But how safe are they on the fallback? Actually made it safely into post-plant too. Yeah, very surprising.
No snake bites available, and I don't think actually any nano swarms on this, so it's going to be a dry post-plant here for
Around
Koi.
the world, keep your eyes on who is it. Starkso going walkabouts. He's going late flank through middle. Hasn't been noted.
Victor just gave it up. He spotted him.
Victor is in so much danger. Now there's a problem though, because they've got their mind split in 2 places, and Trek starts farming. 3 huge kills, and NRG left in tempters. Victor's eyes turn towards middle, and it's all but a ruse, it's all but a distraction. The time is just singing him the way out of this round. Goldamenta to close, and Koi off to the perfect start, 3-0.
Big conversion here for Koi in round 3, and again, this is on the back of NRG looking to really flex out on B main. Like hyper aggressive against 3 Spectres. Again, Koi weren't even really happy to entertain it at first, but they waited out that wave of utility as Wolfen to actually find the opener onto Ardis. Beautiful round from Koi. And this is the thing with Coldamenta. He's not afraid to let that clock burn, let it go all the way down, force so much utility out. We saw that time and time again from him last year.
And how many times have I talked about Coldamenta as a kingmaker, right? He knows how to make his players work for him. We're seeing it with Trex early on. Wolfen want to see how he warms into this, and we're finally seeing a little bit of a look towards the A site here. So again, the purchase from NRG is poor, so it's not going to be one of those rounds that we're going to be writing home about if all goes to plan, but it's the first time Koi's starting to explore the map this time.
The scope in the hands of Som, who left to anchor towards Snowman, but pistols to deal with here. Oh, actually, Shadows just staring on Victor here, and actually, Victor looking to get aggressive, nearly catching one.
But the pressure's coming now. Shados cracks open towards Crashies too. Potential of a flank, but not going to be explored. And they're on towards the site, already clearing towards 410. Darkso towards Ardis. It's clean so far. Nice. No trades coming back in. You can see FS trying to find that space. Denied quickly. Koi, super diligent. Super clean, super diligent, and a Prime Gaming flawless here, Mike.
A second. Now we're in round 5, or coming into round 5 now.
Now, it's early days still. When do they hit the button for a timeout for me if you are NRG? You don't want this to spiral. You've got another bite here with a full purchase. Maybe run this one, but surely that consideration will be here soon.
It's definitely after this buy round for me.
Yeah.
But if we do see any sort of adaptation come through. But Koi definitely in the driving seat in terms of the pacing here, in terms of the control.
Absolutely.
NRG just about coming up towards this first ult cycle. 2 is the most kills here on the board for NRG. Again, early dealing with the turret once again, creating a gap, forcing this rotation out. I think Koi are going to very quickly drift towards A here.
And last time around they did this, they did eventually kind of explore that B side, that late lurk through middle. They kind of...
I think this is what previously prompted that aggression towards B main for NRG, so we get a different look from NRG this time, but also a different response from Koi.
And look at Wolfen, I think you're absolutely on the money with that consideration. He's already sat back there making sure that doesn't happen. So they are trying to find information here, but again, a new look from Koi, going to go towards the A side. So a little bit of a switch up, but no pace behind this. Maybe waiting to see if that flex does come through.
We'll see, Crashes should have his recon back online now. Yeah, he's actually just sent it out immediately. Now, if that pings nothing, which actually looks like everybody from Koi has avoided that.
Do they rotate? Do they sit deeper? What? I'm looking at FNS trying to find a bit of information as well. This is going to be quite telling. Nothing still.
Should hit these steps though.
It's huge. What a swing from Wolfen as well. You felt as though Artist was good for that crash. She's still standing. Don't know how. The absolute flood of utility on the side is going to put him right under pressure. The flank is on though. Koi not feeling comfortable just yet. They want another pick, but you can see them halting for a second, pausing for composure. See if there's any oversteps, and no one is so far.
They've got bodies on the line here to try and defend. That's the Owl Drone. Late investment here.
How is Crashes
utility
alive?
to clear Crashes.
10 seconds. They've got to make a move towards the site. It's Sova Vector saving NRG in this.
Nice.
Yeah, a little frantic there on the defense and on the attack as well, but I think just an inability to follow up on that first kill to Ardis. Crashes just tucked in for so long. I think initially a slow orb sent his way, but after that, a snake bite to follow up. It seemed a little hesitant on the side of Koi when they actually had the upper hand there. As soon as Ardis falls, he's invested the wall. Just follow through on that.
Yeah, credit to Crashes for playing his life so well, but you're absolutely right. There wasn't as much kind of pressure right towards him. Yes, I guess the flank did come in roughly around that time, so a little bit of a stress across the board. But 4-1, we finally have NRG fighting back into this. Let's see what the new look coming out from the attacking side of Koi is going to be this time.
And Crashes and Victor. Ultimates online. Sol and Ardis just one away from the Res and the Viper's Pit. Blade Storm available here for Wolfen. Actually, Stars are going to get his Res online as well. Spread pretty thin once again for Koi in the early round. No exploration from NRG either. Crashy's looking a little bored there. Hands off the keyboard. Just jump spotting Boiler right now. In the second leg, really, we've seen Wolfen deal with that turret early on a couple of times, but there hasn't been a single round when this alarm bot's been pressured yet. This one is going to be the key part of this Killjoy setup. Once again, Ardis and Crashies potentially going to be tested here on A site. Victor drifting this way as well.
Such close contact as well. That's the first bit of utility fully invested, and they're already on the site essentially. Really sitting deep now, NRG. Didn't want to take that risk after Ardis lost his head in just that prior round, but still. One going to come through, and Trex on guard duty. Takes down Victor. Crashes with a whole lot of info, but not a lot of ability to really do much about the pressure coming off the back of it. So again, spamming in. Ardis takes a little bit of damage himself. And they're looking for that first step in on this retake, and it may be off the back of this Hunter's Fury coming through, and absolutely maybe now. Trex goes down. But not before he actually managed to convert onto Victor. The timing, FNS! He's made a bit of a meal of it. This could be deadly now. Problems are plenty, Mike.
Does find it though. Cold Elemental will fall here. FNS, can he find anything else? No. Starzo deals with it. Trex finds a follow-up. Wall's still available for Ardis, but there's just not enough left to fight the numbers of Koi on the site here. Again, seemed like almost a dry run of the previous round, but a much deeper setup here with Crashies basically playing off that Hunter's Fury. Victor gets here just as he pops the null command. The wall's already up. Starzo's already got that wall against screens, so there's no threat to sight. A little strange to watch that. Again, this was no pressure elsewhere on the map. This time the turret wasn't dealt with in Kitchen. There wasn't really any indicators of presence anywhere else for NRG. Felt a little scrambled on the way back in there.
And I'm happy to see a timeout called now, because I think we want to bring into context that there's only so many times we can say this. Single elim, of course, but this is also NRG's map choice. So if you're looking at it this way, I was really looking at kind of Koi coming in, looking really well drilled, looking like got a really good game plan into this. Maybe not completely anti-stratting, because you simply can't do that these days, at least yet. But again, nice game plan on approach. NRG are yet to really find that answer, to really find the information early on, or pressure anything as to what's going on.
Yeah, it's the point where we come back to that, again, kind of weak way to look at it, but it's at face value, right? This core for NRG And again, whether we're going to make another argument about the comp or what, whether or not, I don't know, for me, the support system here, you can put artists on anything really and they'll deliver.
Yes.
But for me, it needs to be Victor and Crashies to step up in some of these rounds. And early on, we saw them kind of posturing up, looking hyper aggressive in that anti-eco engine. There's 3 Spectres on the board, happy to brawl on B main, but outside that, whether or not it's just how delicate the economy's been, they haven't felt comfortable to do that. Koi aren't really making any secrets about what's going on in the early round, right? It's a couple of times now, Wolfen's dashed up onto top tube, dealt with the turret, immediately peeled back to a default, and just kind of slowly drift towards A. If that continues, I want to see NRG take the initiative, but it's difficult when you don't have the weapons to back that up.
Yeah, it's just, you know, buy round.
And without a duelist as well.
Exactly.
A duelist is the one that really they should be looking to enable in those sort of rounds.
And as much as, yes, you can prop up certain players to play like it, the agent not there, going to be difficult. Trying to play bodyguard here for Victor. Does, I think, yeah, he did indeed get the old orb, so that's fine. FNS could be next on quick with it. Really clean work. I think this is a lot of credit going to Codementor in my mind again. You've got a lot of untested talent, some talent who been off almost free. Here, you've got a lot of different factors to work into effect here, but he's doing incredibly well with his roster so far. Crashies and Som, again looking for maybe some sort of chip damage, some sort of exits here, any sort of damage achieved. Going to take down one, but anything more starts to get almost impossible.
The opening to some of these anti-eco rounds from Koi have just been absolute perfection. There's been no real risk. Always stacked up in numbers, and Wolfen's been good for it so far, honestly.
Yep, solid.
Been building up a bit of a bankroll now as well. I think that's going to be even worse with 4 surviving here for Koi. They're sat very comfortably. And you look at NRG, it's odds and ends left behind this. Viper's bit, Rez, lockdown to play with here, but again, I'm just not seeing the numbers on the side of NRG to really feel confident about the home stretch of this half.
No, and it could turn on this round. This is what it kind of is a pivot point in the game for me, or at least in this half. It does seem as though we're going to see a similar start as well. Eyes towards what Wolfen does here. Does he get checked on this? Does he not? Similar scenes. No turret this time. So again, this could be relatively telling as well that there is an adjustment, but Wolfen big pick. Victor goes down, he gets a back away, and there's no trade, there is no threat.
I love the reaction here. It's such a big indicator that the turret's not there. There's some kind of adjustment on the side of NRG. Exactly, what's happening differently here? Beautiful opener from Wolfen once again.
It's really nice to see. Again, young player, good decision making coming in here. First on the big stages like this. That's lovely. Doesn't have to get too flashy with it, can just do his role. And we've got that slow lean actually towards B, but we do still see Viper's Pit in play.
Still got a drone, still got the recon to deal with. Some should they force in.
Res up. There's Shados on guard duty, tries quickly handling business, and Artis even gets tagged in this. So they've lost even more. Yes, Coldamenta goes down, but still, it's just FNS, Som, and Artis to try and quickly get back towards the A site. All drawn towards B, all drawn towards mid, and a quick read and a correct decision from Koi to instantly go towards A.
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful decision making.
A very safe plant as well with no pressure coming back through on site. FNS actually going to invest the lockdown here with the Hunter's Fury being burnt up from Trex. See really what it buys. Again, when they're not behind screens, it only really gives them access towards the orb. You can see where it cuts off here. And it's a safe plant.
Okay, what's the plan here? Oh, this could be nice. Gives him a bit of cover. That's the only issue, though. Has to back away 18 HP, and he's lost all the bodies in the meantime. All alone, barely breathing. Artis would have to work miracles, and there are no miracles here for NRG. Koi a 7-1 up. Let's pump the brakes here, Mike. Let's take a step back, right? As this tournament is going to be one of those that could be completely out of expectation. Very hard to consider who does deep runs, who's going where. But we have to give credit at 7-1 that Koi have come in looking dangerous, Mike.
Absolutely, and NRG making a few decisions that just feel a little flustered. I mean, the res there, even if the Hunter's Fury wasn't a factor, right? This res is towards the bottom end of tube, with no wall invested towards mid. I didn't actually see on the minimap if anybody had probed it anywhere else to kind of ensure that, but it's immediately punished. I mean, Artis gets tagged as well, obviously got the heal behind that, but like I said, it's not often last year we'd ever talk about NRG, well, previously FNS, making these kind of desperation calls.
No, but I think this also then spins back, considering we are seeing a bit of a force-up. Actually, Som going to connect one, so that's actually quite important. First time we're seeing Wolfen found without any trade or anything back. Maybe could do a bit more with this, but I think this arcs back to this is potentially NRG's game to lose to an extent. A lot more pressure, a lot more eyes on them. Koi, I think if you're part of the EMEA scene, you watch these teams, you'll be very aware of who some of these players are, but
The tag actually comes
not
through.
bad. He's putting in work. He's trying. But again, this is huge pressure on NRG, and Koi gets to come in and even determine the pace on the attacking side is very valuable in this.
Yeah, big progress towards A here as well. Victor digging pretty deep here with Wolfen falling. Again, no progress through mid actually. Crashy's going to opt to rotate towards orange here.
How much longer can he
Actually,
last?
as I say that, yeah, Victor actually caught with the stinger out in the open.
So much put towards just clearing him out of this. Actually, FNS, great little available angle that all has come into play, and again, just putting bodies on the line here. Koi has once again won out the fight. Yes, it's sloppy, but at now probably 8-1. It's not the end of the world unless Victor can work out some sort of magic here.
Well, he did get tagged up and noted by Trex as well, so down to 67 HP. Flashes to work with. The alarm bot will reveal his position. Gonna need a miracle to get this one done. Still a drone to buy time as well.
Shados working with it too. Beautiful. Two still alive. Trex, Shados move forward. Money's not an issue. Rounds aren't an issue. Koi are comfortable on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, cool round 10, the nail in the coffin, honestly. With this bankroll that's built up here, Koi systematically working through these ultimates as well. NRG, a couple away, crashes two off the Hunter's Crew once again. Victor, one off the null command.
Yeah, I've got to say as well, for me, Trex and Shados, outstanding performance so far. Yes,
Shados is 12-1.
Yeah,
What?
Shados is having
What?
a game. And he had a good beginning, call it what you want, when they had the economy in their favor, but even into the buy round, it's been super influential. Early attempt at a little bit of a catch there towards the orb, but again, just going to keep map control for now. But a massive rotation. You've got 4 players on A here.
I feel a little bit like it's time for NRG to try and take a fight here. That might be why we see the numbers committed towards A. Artist actually with an op in hand.
Could be big. You need something to make the difference.
Throw a spanner in the works. We know what he's capable with this weapon.
There's not many like him. The man he replaced is one of the only other few that you could argue. But again, 3-9 quiet performance here so far, but not really an individual error, I feel. It's just a game as it is. 50 seconds now. Running down the clock quite low. And they're going to be walking into a substantially larger amount of presence. First time we're going to see the 4 players really posted up on this too. Artist first contact. Wins that fight wall.
Let's go.
Gets committed, doesn't get on it himself though. So has to peel away from this. And actually an early read from NRG that this is going to be a rotation.
30 seconds.
I mean, 30 seconds left here. I don't think they're going to beat NRG to this side. Obviously, some tucked all the way into Snowman.
I love Victor backfilling this super quick as well.
Immediately.
Safety, making sure it's not going to be a double pump, a double fake. No, it's going to be now red alert to Som. Do what you can, buy us time, buy any seconds you can. Plant's going to come in, does it get stuck here? 10 seconds now, it's down, it's safe. Into the post plant, crashes, handles Starzo. Now down to 3 players. What more can these 3 do? I think I heard the Viper's pick committed.
Yeah, Coleman's popped it.
He's popped it, and rightly so, but Victor on the flank. This was happening a long time ago. Artist still popping off shots, finds Shados. Down to Golden Mentor and Trex here. Close on the side, and Crash is trying to reveal him. Crash is going to get Trex. And now just Golden Mentor, and he's dealt with. Finally, NRG stem the bleeding. But is it too little and is it too late?
I said for this to go in Koi's favor would have been the nail in the coffin for me. Again, it will be nothing short of a miracle. They can close this out with the best possible result. It was a Prime Gaming flawless
Didn't
for
feel
NRG
like
to get
it.
back on it. Definitely didn't.
So scrappy. Wow. A timeout now for Koi. So maybe
let that one breathe a little bit.
Just let it settle. They're not under any pressure right now still.
Not really any bad decision making on the side of Koi here. This just felt a little more of a, I guess, a preemptive rotation coming through, and NRG happy to kind of commit to some of the information they do receive. Obviously with the Owl drone coming through, the knife actually following through, I think pinging 2 from Victor, the Owl drone being there, they know it's 3 or 4 behind there. I think that's the point at which they say, yeah, let's commit to this. This is posted up. He wins those all days long. Like, if there's no flash to come over to actually get Wolfen in a position to swing that, that's when you know, this is always good for that one.
Yeah, he's not going to miss that absolute city. So good to see him finding that, and then the knock-on effect of it, again, good stuff. I've got to say, the crowd here pretty lively already. It's a pretty small start to it. It's your first game ever coming out here. Crowd's lively. Kind of liking it. But all said and done, Koi now with a chance to maybe hit that adjustment. Now noting that Artist will probably have the operator still in play. That's going to be a factor. How do we approach this? How can we maybe facilitate Wolfen a little better in this scenario? Or do we look somewhere else?
So again, it being on the Sage, how kind of mobile is he going to be around the map? Seen immediately him make his way towards B. If he's going to become the B site anchor with this operator, it'll be a big switch up for NRG, enabling them to find something elsewhere on the map. See Som making his way over. First time we've actually seen mid-intention here from Koi. At least with a couple of bodies, it's usually Wolfen to just find that turret. Slow creep behind the orb.
Yeah, they have not done this walk before at all. So the fight will be towards FNS, if anything. 3 players there, and this hasn't happened yet. This timing can be really uncomfortable. Now we'll get the early warning signal, but beyond that, it's really on him here.
You can spam the wall off this alarm bot as well, actually. You can see the nano swarm on the other side of it.
They've got to be asking questions. They've got to be. That timing's starting to get curious here. FNS still steal focus. He's going to hear the steps here, and now he's going to see the players. Falls away from this and probably rightly considered. Quick trade does take down Wolfen, but the site's now under scrutiny. We do note that, again, it was Artist who hit that early rotate towards the LFG site, but the fight in Mills went out by Starzo. And crashes on the quick flank. He's going to miss the vast majority. There's still one player even behind this Trex, waiting ever so patiently for his time. The plant comes in, the timing's atrocious. Trex gets it on a platter. Spotting out one in the second, looking likely. Trex, sharp as ever. And now it's just Artist, completely navigated around, didn't even get a chance into this round. I love that, how he get around the opposite, just play it up the guts, up middle.
I'd love to accredit this towards the awareness of being, it's going to be on an extremity, right? The weakness is going to be in mid. And what FNS got to deal with is 3 bodies barreling into kitchen. Like I said, even here with the setup, they're stacked up as 3, ready to explode on the back of that alarm bot contact. Artist will find a consolation, but only really revealing himself here. Prone to losing this now. Tracks on the first swing. Shados picking up the slack elsewhere as well, might even catch him.
Gave it a good fight. Operator gone now. And the round back for Koi. Fantastic call from, I imagine, Coldament there. I feel like that's the first time we saw them up the guts. They knew what they were doing. And it's not a bad call from NRG. By all accounts, you're only trying to play off of what you know and make that maybe that next step reading, trying to place him into middle somewhere. But again, it's Sage, not hypermobile, not able to really get out of those scenarios. So again, you don't have that capability. So 2 to 9. Money, it's missing bits and pieces here. You can see Victor without armor, you can see odds and ends lacking, but Artist does still have the operator. So this time around, what's the plan here? They desperately need this third.
They really do. I don't feel comfortable about this second half at all. Swing towards B main initially here for Koi. Coldamented to be the 4th. Shados is going to be on crowd control elsewhere. Victor looks a little curious. Towards Nest at least on A side. Pause for thought here for Koi. Hunter's Fury available. Res available. On the other side of things, FNS does have that lockdown and preemptively invested here with over a minute left on the clock. Just to force them back into spawn here, as like I said, it feels just a little desperate.
9-3 girls, 9-3
don't really secure the space on the back of that. Yeah, I'm really not sure about that one.
No, I was kind of imagining if someone backfill it a little
exactly,
further.
Yeah, take the space, force them even deeper. There's a pinch coming through from Victor potentially with this aggression on A.
And here's the burst again. Wolfen instantly going to fight towards Som. Som great dealing with the first though. Front line dealt with. Now you got to look towards who else is remaining. We know that Koi are running as a pack in this. There's 3 players who are the heavy hitters and they're mostly still standing. Some though yet to be cleared fully from this. Rez comes in. Do they get a punish? Shoot! Holding it down and giving NRG the finest amount of hope, the thinnest amount to work with, as 3 rounds is really the bare minimum.
It's a fine margin, yeah, the bare minimum. Quietly on the other side of things, Trex has just had an insane half of Valorant here.
Yes, he
on
has.
Icebox for Koi. Just such a consistent player. I saw him hint at this. It doesn't get much better than that. Right? They line up for him. You can see a little bit of joy to close out the half for NRG.
They
A consolation at least. Definitely needed that one.
Yeah, might bring him back a little here, give him a little bit of that fire burning his belly, because they definitely need a wake-up call. It's 3-9.
Chet's cracked a smile.
bro.
First time in a while, but yeah, this has to be a rude awakening for NRG. It's do or die. Bear in mind, this is still their map choice. They've got 3 rounds. Let's hand it back to the desk.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypog. If you're an EMEA fan, you're having a great...
Inso famous, Inso. Shopshing. Sham. टेंशन बाल दे क्या किया माँ की ऐकत नाही टेंस
Up into Artis's hands. That's something that you want to do as quickly as possible, and having to delay that until 10 is brutal. So we need to see a big step up here from Finesse. He needs to have a Shados-esque performance as he gets ready to go on this attack.
He absolutely does. At an international event, this is the first time that this NRG core ever has picked this map, so we got to see what they were cooking.
Yeah, they got the Night 3 curse, the EU team curse, the first match curse. Everything is against NRG right now, but Pansy and Hypog, they do have a chance to pull this back.
You're absolutely right, Yinzu. There's every opportunity here, but we did say this is the bare minimum. We said 3 is really the buffer you're going to need. We have to put into context, you still have Trex having a very big game and Shados to boot.
Well, this is the thing as well. Yes, there's no comfort in the scoreline, right? But there's also not a lot of comfort coming out of that half either. In terms of individual performances, it's never nice to drill down to that sort of level. When we're looking at the numbers, thank God Som closes out that half in the way that he did. There's a couple of times there were fumbles left, right, and center for NRG. That has to be cleaned up here for the second half.
And if I'm Koi, I'm testing them. I'm going right back into the thick of it. And well, for starters, they are getting dealt with. Good work. Yeah, they're very aware that this confidence could be happening, and it is. So Starzo going to back away here. I see them willing to fight on this, spotting them crossing towards the A site though, so already going to have at least 2 bodies here. We're going to see a little bit of the setup in play. FNS though, trying to lead by example at this point here.
Early intention showed here as well for Wolfen. Happy to take these opening engagements, and Koi happy to build around him. Get the clean plant here, and still 5 standing here for NRG. So numbers advantage. Koi have to get something done on this retake. Wall going to burn up a lot of time here as well, Lauren.
I don't see a comfy way back in at all. They already have to back away from this. There's no step to it. There's still so many bodies on the site. 5 still standing for NRG.
The wall's only just coming down now, and there's only 1 chunk removed.
Okay, Shados though does connect quite quickly. Good information on the second, but not going to follow up. It's Som dealing with it at the back of the site. Artist still standing, and NRG locking this down. They need this one to work out for them, and Trex cannot do enough. 3 alive for NRG, and the first in the second half.
A great response from NRG as well. As soon as Wolfen falls, they drift back. They're happy to try and fight the remnants of that early attempt from Koi and slot themselves right onto A side. Like I said, that wall just bought so much time.
Really nice.
Felt like a good 15-20 seconds until finally a chunk was removed.
Love to see that. And is going to be a process here, because we can't really, when we look at NRG, you don't have that icebox knowledge to depend upon when you come to that core 3, even to an extent. You know, you wonder what they're going to look like on this, and again, get to at least determine the pace this time. But Koi still looking to test the waters, and why not? They are onto the classics, the frenzy, and just a touch of utility around it, but not a great deal. Just testing the waters, and some on the case.
I'm so happy with Wolfen though, and this is in a comp that doesn't actually have a flash, right? There's no stun, there's no flash. It's only really Trex's utility to really support him. But in my eyes, he's absolutely delivered so far. Let's see what he can get done in the second half as well. Early intention shown from Koi once again with that tube walk. The dart goes through. Actually, on the back of that, so proactive. They're coming back. They're clearing this space outside A site, and this is on a round with just classics to work with.
And here we go. There's going to be the spot. Crashies notice at least one, potentially two now. So they should be very aware that there's now going to be further presence. A little messy in the end. Not what you want, but they should be fine now. Going to lose out on Victor, but I doubt Trex will get anything. Yeah, so comfy, 4 alive, coming in. NRG building back into this game.
Yeah, and they come into the next round as well. I have to see exactly how it lands, but with a Vandal to work with in the hands of Ardis. That Bulldog for Som. See actually what's going to round this purchase out. Crashy's one away from the Hunter's Fury. The potential to get that online in this round. Quite definitely with the upper hand here. But a big question arises now. How many different looks will we see from this proactivity on the side of Koi? Again, you got to credit the protocols once again for Coldamenta there. So proactive to clear through A side. They don't want NRG to get away with any free space. So if we see that continue into the buy rounds now. They walk down tube here. It's 3 towards A site instead, Lauren.
Yeah, and got to say, Shados is in a world of danger. Hyper isolated. Even the rotation through mid can be noted, can be seen, can be punished. I don't know how much he can do on his own here.
Starzo's behind this turret as well, so FNS deals with it. He should be able to lock down at least one side. Either the kitchen rotate or under tube at least. Yeah, this... I mean, if Shadows lives, then yeah, sure, but...
Fuck that shit. No
second swing. I mean, Starzo's trying to follow off the drone. Som's going to find another kill onto Coldamenta here.
Nicely played round so far by NRG, but it is been left on a platter here. Shados, Wolfen, and Trex trying to navigate a way through, and Som can play that back line. Ardis yet to be checked on, does do well. Finds Wolfen, extends a little bit of play here. 3v2, and Som, perfect timing. Lovely approach there. Buys a little couple of seconds as well. Going to be a nuisance, and Shados not being given a fair fight. There isn't one to be had. Turns the flash, but he can't turn this round any other way. And I didn't love what they were doing. There was a little bit of a heavy investment towards the ace site, but again, there was no fallback plan.
I mean, I love it from FNS. Yeah, they're showing tube presence. I'm going to walk tube this round. And like I said, it's the fact that Starzo's behind that turret, the other side of it, that just makes it so uneasy for Shados. You can kind of trade that off if they get deep mid control, they get deep A side control somewhere else. But as soon as you get stuck behind that turret, Shados is left in a world of hurt. And there's no, I mean, what can he do there? Pop off, find 3 kills? That's the only solution to that.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if there was maybe not a misread, but maybe a gamble towards it. Maybe testing things out, I don't know. But again, it's put them in a position where they are back down to the pistols here. So this will build, again, an opportunity for NRG to close the gap. And they're still stuck on 9 for Koi. NRG just building that confidence as well, trying to feel out the game, warm into this a little bit. They certainly need a bit of that. Maybe some Eco Cobra frags for Ardis can help the matter too.
Momentum should get spotted here, yeah. Noted at least from Ardis. I think actually noted the second player as well. Starzo unnoted as of yet, but Spike not committed. A little bit of a poke here from NRG, and do have the space to rotate. Already though, Koi. They have a read on this as well. Only really the frenzy in the hands of Shados to work with.
As it stands, NRG is still stuck towards B long, very methodically working. They do still have utility to clear towards site as well.
30 seconds.
But it's the time. It makes me nervous, even against these pistols. One player drops, Spike gets lost, Util gets burnt up, 25 seconds now. Mike, this is running down to the wire. Som trying to do his heroics once again. Wall goes up. 18 seconds. I'm still waiting for that plant to come in if it's safe. It is for now. Victor and Som on the case.
Right, Som actually the one to find that crucial kill to open things up and closes out with 3 for the Prime Gaming Flawless. And a little more confidence in their step now for NRG. Som actually leading the charge here, 17 and 9, top of the scoreboard for them. And this ultimately is the buy round that gets them back to a tight scoreline in my eyes.
Gotta say, heroic.
Yeah, actually, maybe behind this purchase, yeah. I mean, other than the operator purchase, Wolfen one off the Blade Storm. There's a chance to scrape together maybe some rifles in the next. This is a big one for NRG, actually. Potential to get everything online in terms of this ult cycle. The Hunter's Fury and the Viper's bit available in this round for Crashes and Som.
They're implying pressure in middle as well. We've just seen the Aldrone go through, and Wolfen's waiting with that operator. One of the young guns to watch if you are keeping track of EMEA. Didn't expect to really see him here, but let's see how he does with operator now in hand.
It's a big jump to come here to this stage, and I mean, I've already said it's delivered in my eyes in that first half.
Yeah, very much like a technical player so far. He's not, as I said, not going to be your highlight player. He's not going to be sitting there top of the scoreboard, but he's certainly doing the damage. Lovely work. Big connection towards Victor. That's now a little bit of a problem. You're going to isolate FNS if he tries to stick around here. He can't do much more. It's down to the 3 there, hitting towards the site.
Crashes and artist, though. Look at them.
To find Starzo, trying to navigate around potentially. Starzo yet to get checked on, and Trex has found Crashies. This is a bit bizarre to me, and Starzo can just back away here, gets away with his life. No success being found. FNS, yes, has gone deep towards A, but to what value? There's still utility in play here.
Just now dealing with the turret. The alarm bot's still there, so Shadow's going to know nobody's followed through on that.
Som, how much can this one man do? This again is calling for such a huge round, and he's actually in the right place for it. Gonna find Coldamenta. There is a second on the site as well, but it's gonna be Starzo just worming his way around, trying to find the angle. He gets it, Koi! Huge punish. Denying Som, denying Artis, and they noted earlier where FNS was. They are gonna sit on this one. The smokes are coming in. Starzo is safe, and it's 10 for Koi.
Great response here in this round, but NRG creeping all the way up on the B side. I think it's only that recon from Trex that gives that away. It almost felt like Crashes had a free clearance with that Viper wall being up, as Starzo hyper-focused towards B main. Got away with murder there, I gotta say it. Yeah, I'm not sure actually who was in a position to deal with that that dart. I love seeing Barbar cam again, by the way.
I miss Barbar cam. Great to see it.
But yes, it's only that recon that gives things away. So great timing from Trex to really bail Starzo out in that regard. But the only ultimate missing now for NRG, the lockdown. So a decent financial position behind this, and looks as if they might try and commit behind this null command. Shados here, so most of his utility will be rendered useless. Should be a clean plant here.
Oh.
Viper's pick gonna go up now.
Ooh, hold on.
Response coming through from Trex here. One tag at least I noted, but actually no tag. It looked like he did get a tag onto Ardis there, but
they've invested so much in this. But 2 players on the flank now, but 2 players to be watching it as well. So NRG fully aware, really
Literally
diligent.
Unlosable round here. Hunter's Fury, 2 snake bites available. Nano Swarms, Koi know it. As soon as those 2 flank kills fall, a great decision to be made here from Koi as well. And Coldamenta 2800, Starzo 800. Opportunity here for a weapon to be passed across. Like I said, that all hinged on those 2 kills on the flank, Lauren.
Yeah, it could have changed the outcome if they did potentially go the other way, but NRG pulling out the must-win round sort of deal. Burnt a fair amount, but absolutely worth it at this point, it feels. So they're going to convert here and close the gap on the scoreline just a touch. Not letting Koi run away, and a little bit of a hunt for the rifles.
I was going to say, Wolfen up on top of the hut there. Back in spawn, almost getting spotted out. He did have the operator in hand, obviously carries it across now. Fair investment here, but it's the null command and the Viper's pit to get this round done. Great awareness for FNS and Crashes just to be double stacked up here to secure that.
Just knowing where that weakness would be, because you've invested so much on it.
What the win condition is.
Yeah, exactly.
The win condition is the post plant there.
Beautiful, beautifully done. We go back in though. And again, Koi's money will be brought into question. They are starting to dip a little lower into the funds, and the scoreline's getting a bit closer here. slowly NRG waking up in this game. And Trex willing to scrap on this. Does need to back away. He had the support there as well. Wolfen getting a little bit of play into this. Timing not there this time, and NRG quick to it. They are not resting for a second. Victor, fast as anything. You'd think he's on Neon if you blinked and missed it. But it's Wolfen in the back lines. They've had to relinquish the site control. Oh, I am looking at one going walkabouts here. Trex is still on the site. Finally found by Crashies, for the spike yet to be planted. But NRG are winning the fight, so they desperately needed.
Well, this is the sort of round they're known for. Completely disrupting the rhythm, the tempo, the expectations of some of these rounds. And Koi just left scratching their heads, honestly. Massively overstepping the mark. You don't ever expect anybody on the back of that initial contact. And that's Koi being aggressive there. They're the ones that are happy to dig a little deeper, challenge that owl drone. But straight away, Victor barrels towards site.
I love seeing that from Victor, though. We needed a bit of that punch to come back in. We saw a little bit of that dabble of aggression on the first half. It didn't obviously work out as well for NRG, but to see them kindling that here in the second half is great.
I'm glad you referenced the Neon as well, because actually, whatever composition we see him in, it becomes Victor and Crashies being the key stakeholders, right? Those are the playmakers. Yes, they're missing Ye now.
Sure.
But in my eyes, Victor and Crashies are two that actually, when they excel, those games for Optic look so easy. When they're just in like hard carry mode.
Yeah, it's gorgeous to watch. It's very stylistic to only what I feel like they can do as well. And look at this. Rabid on the hunt, takes so much space, continuing to pressure, and you're right, Crashies in combination as well. Beautiful synergy there. Loving that, gonna put a little bit more pressure back towards Koi now.
Somehow,
9 to 10.
somehow, we're one round
perfect. This
away
is
from a tied scoreline.
But this is the beauty of single elim as well. Like, this one map can mean so much here. And NRG having to dig deep early on. Now, the money did get shattered. We saw it was very fragile, even just the prior round for Koi. So this is poised to be 10-10, Mike.
There's actually a comfortable amount of credits. Sorry, just tighten up the numbers, but Wolfen's going to be able to have the operator. Even here, it's 2200, 2800 to carry across. Decent progression on this ult cycle as well. Coldamenta and Shados, one away from two very impactful defensive ultimates. Flip side, yes, could argue there's a couple of counters there, but I say we came into this half with, yes, the odds stacked against NRG, but even here you come into the next, it's tied up. I mean, a loss isn't going to break them, but still, Koi in a pretty good position.
Certainly the purchase will be coming back around, but they really need to show their diligence here as well for NRG. Don't be walking into stacks or any funny business. A lot of the time being purchased, Wolfen unable to find the connection he wanted.
Wolfen and Shados breaking their ankles there.
And the side looks like it's on a platter. Do they try and refight? Do they offset the timing? It looks like they try too hard. It's so willing to brawl it out. Crashies denies, and none of that pressure. None of that aggression going to work out here, trying to offset the tempo to try and maybe deny that plan and get in their faces. Coldamenta left alive, and it's a formality at this point. It will be tied up. This will be 10-10. I'd love to see you prove me wrong, Coldamenta, but it ain't going to happen.
More and more examples of that main stage confidence coming out from some of these NRG players.
They need it. They needed it. Called upon it when it was most required. 3 rounds in the first half, and bear in mind, one of them was a gift from some. This is pedigree coming in. This is that core 3 that we need to be looking at, and then the additions coming through as well. This is exactly what the doctor prescribed, and they are absolutely doing as needed.
Problem being though, again, I was crediting that financial position for Koi behind that previous. They're going to come in 4 players sitting 1200 and above. I mean, NRG can basically buy out even if Koi do string together a couple here, find themselves towards that 12-round mark. I think actually dig a little deeper, and NRG, if they do rely back on some of these ultimates. Oh, I can't actually believe we're even here to start off with, and then you look at this scoreboard and there's so many factors to consider.
Yeah. Where do your eyes go to instantaneous now? Coming into 10-10, right? Tied up. Where are we watching? Tell me where it needs to be looking.
Dare I say it, coming out this time out, I want to see Koi start exploring the map again.
Oh, get back to the aggression
a little bit. Get back to being a little proactive, because that's the thing that Coldamenta is so good at doing. Dictating that mid-round, being proactive, clearing space, and then being in a position to have kind of a numbers favorable defense on one of the sites. Again, it's a big ask. When this half has gone the way it has, they've had 1 round in the second.
Yes.
I'm not seeing it initially here.
Nope.
Adjustment, yes, Shados over towards B. Well, maybe actually with this tube walk, we might even see it.
This is what we've been asking for. Wolfen could have that opportunity. He did manage to find, I believe it was actually Victor even last time, but a new position playing off the back of the turret as well.
It's a sketchy res. Starzo has to respect it for the time being, has to back away from that. And might even have to wait for the retake opportunity to get that res back online.
And I feel like this is a fantastic read because we did see that before. That walk down tube, only used once or twice, very rarely implemented.
FNS with his finger on the pulse in terms of what Koi were planning to pull out in this round.
God, this is so much pressure now.
Yeah, Crashies has actually confirmed the information that actually Starzo isn't tucked into tube, waiting for that res. And they're going to police it as well. Look at this, bodies on the death marker.
I love it. Shados is sweating bullets here.
Because there's a big gap in kitchen.
Yeah,
big gap in
they
kitchen.
Could be anywhere. The information is so deep by the time they'll be on the site. And again, yes, they've cleared this far, so this adds to that pressure on this man here, Shados. How much can he do? Does he get checked on? When does he get checked on? Because they're still watching this flank, Mike. There is still information free flowing. So Shados, again, that time, he's got even longer on his own.
That's interesting, though. NRG have a long list of options in terms of the plant spot. Victor actually settling for default here.
Love this! Going back in just to ensure that that res does not come through, and Som is putting in serious work. Shados finally pulls the trigger, takes down one on the site. Som's been found, it's a 3v3, but time, the KJ ult has come into effect, and Artis is going to get counter ult comes in. Starzo on the punish, and now just two. FNS and Victor, and where do they go?
Got to back away. Koi actually respecting the lockdown as well. Nothing detained here on either side.
Time. They've got to get a move on
Victor.
Victor.
Up so much.
He's going to have his knife back, he's going to have his flashback, he's got so much kit still to play with. Shadows still alive, FNS is there, he can get back onto this one. Oh, and Victor's found Starzo! Shadows with a quick trade, but time is everything, and is running out for them. FNS, he's going to time! It's done for, it's 11 for NRG!
Yes. What a round for NRG to pull out here. Absolute chaos, everybody. I mean, everything but the kitchen sink thrown at this round. But it's such a perfect read on both sides of this.
That was beautiful.
The clearance from NRG behind that res, and then Som posts up another. Just such an impactful round from him. And even though he falls here, like I said, both lockdowns come through, and all the time is expired. I mean, I think Trex has to full stick this. You can't fault him here.
No.
It's a high pressure scenario.
There's no right choice in that, really. It's you make the best of what you've been given, and oh, the heartbreak on Barbar. He knows that round could have been just the minuscule differences coming into play here. And now NRG finally in the lead.
But like I said, though, Koi still had enough behind that purchase to string together rifles here.
You're right.
Coldamenta with the Viper's Pit. Some sense of security towards A site here. But the rest of Koi actually scratching their heads in mid right now. NRG actually feel, I guess like they've found a weak point in this defense. This time around the turret is there. Shados.
I wouldn't call that weak with Shados on it now.
No.
Flashes enough. As contact found, slips away, does call for help, but no one's going to be there super quick. Yes, Trex does actually adjust really well. This is a little bit of an adjustment. Trex coming in to bail out is massive. Now they can start working this down. They would have at least noted 3 now, noting it all. That's the spike lost, and Koi crunched them in towards kitchen. And you're going to have FNS and Crashies, irrelevant to outcome. Crashies would have to pull off miracles here. And he's got the first step. 35 seconds, finds the second. Crashies is fighting as best he can, but being closed in on another. Wolfen springs into effect, but tied up again, 11-11.
Just when you think NRG are going to find themselves a bit of space once again.
How's the money? How's the money looking though, Mike? Is it?
NRG should still be comfortable.
NRG are fine. I'm looking at Koi.
Crashes.
I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be an SMG or a Judge to throw through here to round out this purchase. But even on the other side of things, I'm seeing Artis down to 350 credits.
What a game. What a game. I bloody missed Valorant.
What a way to start the day as well. I mean, you're looking at that first half and you're thinking, wow, I mean, this is the Koi that's shown up today. The second half.
There's NRG right back at him. All the things we looked for, all the things we liked, you know, that kind of like Crashies, Victor look coming in, FNS with some hop calls coming out as well. Som being such a really nice technical player as well. Some of the looks he's been doing, some of those positions he's been playing out of. It's beautiful.
Som and Trex this map have just had like some of the craziest rounds individually.
In my mind, Trex changed how that last round went. That one pick, who I think it was on Victor.
To bail Shados out, yeah.
Shados would have been dead otherwise. And we've seen Shados on an island so often. And it's certainly no holiday here. 11-11, this is when your IGLs, this is when your coaches.
This is another reason that this matchup is so fascinating. It's Coldamator and FNS, two
brilliant
very storied, yes, exactly, and storied IGLs within Valorant, facing off here with blank canvas, right? Coming into this is completely blank canvas.
God, what a dream game already. I'm loving this. And I know some fans will be like, oh, you know, NRG, such a close game against a team like Koi. Look at the caliber that Koi has, though. Really take it in. We go again. 11-11 could not be closer. Mike, what are we seeing?
What is that lineup? All the way towards back kitchen, but no command popped over towards A site here.
4 players here so early on.
NRG expect this resistance.
Starzo gonna find Victor. Trade comes in. The site is manic, but it's Crashies again. The pace stage from Crashies. Animal on the site, finding 3 critical kills. Trex heroics again required. Not gonna happen. The guts on Crashies to play like that, man.
It's just another one that defies logic.
Come on. How is he up there?
And this is the thing, it's always a possibility with players like Crashies and Victor to just have one of those rounds where
One round, yeah.
Sova's in our nest.
Why?
Why?
How is he here? Watch it again. And he just keeps going. Oh, gorgeous play. And at such a pivotal time. You could not ask for a better moment. The money will be shattered, Mike.
It breaks the back of Koi's money. No ultimates available. Touching distance to the res, but NRG in a position to seal the deal on map 1 here. A long time since they really explored in the early round.
Foodies time pass कर रहा है Foodies.
Shados once again will be tested. How many times have we said that in the second half?
If he can just try and play his life as best he can, yeah, not gonna find it.
Can't stall the plant.
Nope. And there it is, already a post plant with 5 alive. You still have Hunter's Fury on Crash. He's got Artist with a res as well.
2 snake bites, 2 nano swarms.
How
Victor with the fragment.
You've got to somehow disrupt the back line with this. Come on, this is going to be hard work. First touch on the spike, going to try and draw out the initial utility.
किसका मैच है? एनर्जी और कोई का चालू है. एनर्जी में ये ऑप्टिक के टीम खेल रहा है.
Maybe even first contact once that wall does drop.
और इसमें थोड़ा अलग मिक्स है. दो नया टीम है.
Finally goes down, but it's down to 3. Wolf and Starzo and Trex, how much more can they do? It's not looking likely. Wolfman, desperate, and desperation ain't working. Starzo now with a judge. And the jury
9-3 कर सो गया बे. 9-3 कर जीत गया लोग.
Somehow making it to 13. What a brilliant game that was.
What an insane comeback. You can never count these guys out.
Beautiful, beautiful game of Valorant there.
Again, this is one with actually one of the headline plays here, Artist on your screen. At a very quiet map, right?
Yes.
A very quiet start for everybody on the side of NRG. Som absolutely stepping up to the plate here. Yeah.
That one round he
I feel like actually when he closed out that 5K then, call it the pseudo ace, whatever, after that it was just from strength to strength for him.
He kept going. That's beautiful to see. And again, you think morale-wise, getting that another round on the ball, giving that little bit of a break there, pulling them back into the game because Koi were right at their heels.
Kicking and screaming.
Kicking
and screaming.
That double KJ ult round that came down, you saw Barbar afterwards. He knew that could have been the one. That one kill between it. I mean, what an impeccable game. This is the beauty of lock-in, right? And this is the caliber of game we're starting with.
Yeah, I mean, there was some crazy stat about how many times actually the 9-3 curse comes into effect.
Yeah.
That time, I mean, I'll be honest, that should have felt like Koi would have been able to close that out, but NRG just exploding into that second half. Again, even from the first 2 rounds, you can see immediately there's a completely different approach here. Got themselves right back in the driving scene. Unfortunately, a couple of the big positives from that first half for Koi just were absent in the second. Trex continued to deliver in the second, but I mean, I don't want to say Shados had a poor second half, but he was left on an island. He was left.
अच्छा तुम्हारी ड्यूटी और नहीं हुई है अभी और रखना है गेम में फेक सेज फेक रिएक्शन कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत ढीला है। हैरी पॉटर बने हैं स्लिदरीन का पहन के भाई। नाग शक्ति में था वो, तुम्हारा वो दाग का है, फिक्स हो गया क्या?
वो मैं थोड़ा मेकअप करके आई हूँ आज।
अच्छा, एक स्पेल बोल दो, टमाटा केडाब्रा। थैंक यू। मेरी कल का डिस्कशन अभी भी रह गया। आपने मर्सी को गिफ्ट दिया, मॉर्टल को गिफ्ट दिया, स्काउट को तो देती ही रहती हो गिफ्ट, और जोकर को भी दे दिया। मतलब मेरे से कोई नाराज़गी है? हाँ वो भी पता है मुझे, वो मेरा आइडिया चुराया है इसने। तो आपको मुझसे कोई नाराज़गी है या कोई बात ख़राब लग गई है या आपको मैं पसंद ही नहीं हूँ कि आप मेरे लिए गिफ्ट नहीं लाती हैं?
ऑप्शन डी, ऑल ऑफ द अबव। अच्छा गाइस, मुझे ना एक डीएम मारना कि मुझे मामा को क्या देना चाहिए।
ये अपनी इंस्टाग्राम की एक्टिविटी ना बढ़ पाई है।
आई हैव इनफ इंस्टाग्राम। ठीक है, ट्वीट करना, दोनों को टैग करना @मामा, जो भी आपका @कार, एंड मुझे बताना कि मामा को क्या गिफ्ट देना है।
करेक्ट।
एंड मामा ऐसा हिंट ड्रॉप करने के लिए अगर आपको कोई ऑप्शन पसंद आ गया तो उसको लाइक मार।
यस, और जैसे कि इनका सरनेम हीरा नंदानी है तो 1-2 लाख रुपए से नीचे कोई आइटम मत बताना, ठीक है ना गाइस? यस, और तुम्हें मानना पड़ेगा, फिर देना पड़ेगा वो।
1-2 लाख
तक थोड़ा पैसा कम कर दो इसका। क्या?
I am both shield and power.
क्या?
I am both shield and power.
क्या
मेरा डायलॉग है ना ये?
तुम्हारा कहाँ से है?
मैं सेज हूँ, if you have forgotten.
अच्छा, कैरेक्टर्स बाहर नहीं आई हो अभी? अब तो आ जाओ, 6 घंटा हो गया।
आ रहा है लगता है।
नहीं होना। कृतिका जब से सेज खेल रही आज तक उसकी एक भी अल्टी सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुई है।
हाँ, आप डिजर्व भी नहीं करते मेरी अल्टी सक्सेसफुल होना।
जाओ यार,
You don't deserve.
वैसे अच्छा लग रहा है तुम पे ये। क्वीट
क्यूट बोलते हो उसको।
क्वीट
बोल के देखो, बहुत क्यूट लग रही हो तुम।
Quit.
बोलो क्यूट लग रही है आप, बोलिए एक बार।
क्वीट आप रही लग।
स्टेज को थोड़ा सा ब्रेकआउट प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही है, थोड़े पिंपल्स आ रहे हैं मुझे यहाँ, अगर आप लोग देख पा रहे हैं। आप लोग को जानने की ज़रूरत नहीं थी, बट अगर आपको लग रहा होगा कि मेरी ब्यूटी में दाग है तो
अरे मत करो यार मम्मा।
हो जाता है यार, स्टेज को भी थोड़ी सी दिक्कत हो जाती है।
बाय द वे गाइस, स्टे एक्साइटेड एंड स्टे ट्यून्ड फॉर कृतिका का ब्लॉग। मतलब जितने लोग यहाँ पे मीटअप को आए थे ना, पागल हो गए वो देख के। इसका उन लोगों का गजब रिएक्शन था, हम लोगों का भी। कल ही आएगा ना ब्लॉग, मतलब आप लोग जब देख रहे होगे तो आज ही आएगा ना। हाँ, मैंने वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करी थी गाड़ी में, उस बाजू में कृतिका, मैं, सिड भाई अलग ही तरीके से सोते हैं।
वो आगे सोते हैं।
हाँ, आगे होके सोते हैं।
गोल्ड में भी सोते हैं कभी।
हाँ, ये आधी डेड है, पूरे डेड थे भाई हम, पूरे डेड।
फिर उसके बाद मैं डेड हो गया था।
अच्छा, उसके बाद तुम डेड हो गए थे क्योंकि सबसे लास्ट में तुम उठे हो गाड़ी में।
मेरा पता है फोन भी गिर गया था, मेरा फोन, पावर बैंक सब इधर उधर लपट गए।
वीडियो में बताना चाह रहा था कि मैं अकेला पावर वाला हूँ।
हाँ,
हिल गए।
हाँ। केजे और सेज आ गए गाइस रिलेशनशिप में। अब रेस के साथ पंगा हो गया है केजे का। सेज के साथ हो गया अब। सॉरी रेडिएटर। एक बहुत सेक्सी सा अभी फोटो शूट हुआ है, वो तो आप लोगों को कल तक, वो तो अभी जब तक वो गया होगा तब तक
तो फिर तेरे को भी
तो ये बोल रहा है
एक काम कर ले भाई, तू भाई इसका वो बाइक वाला फोटो है ना कृतिका, उसी के साथ।
मैं थोड़ी हूँ कृतिका।
अरे थोड़ा लेट थिंग है, लेट।
सो गाइस, बहुत ज़्यादा अभी कृतिका का रील है त्रिशील जो है हम लोगों ने शूट किया, आप लोग देख सकते हो पीछे। हाँ, ये फॉरगेट सिड भाई को ये भी दिलाया था हमने। सिड भाई ने ये लिया। पहले ये निकला।
एक कहाँ टूटा हुआ है?
हाँ यार
वो लेटी थी, वो नहीं मिली।
नहीं मिली
वो
यार।
वाली नहीं मिली, वो सिर्फ डिस्प्ले,
भाई।
वो सिर्फ डिस्प्ले में थी।
ये क्या थी बे?
इसकी एबिलिटीज बहुत
ये
बढ़िया है।
वाले, ये पहले हम लोग ये लेने वाले थे
ये
भाई।
नहीं मिला यार।
तो खैर गाइस, अभी अपन लोग बैठने वाले हैं। आई होप यू हैव लाइक द व्लॉग. इफ यू हैव लाइक द व्लॉग, प्लीज.
Back from NRG. We're only one map in of 2023 and it's been a great game. I'm Yingsu and I'm joined once again by Achilles
Welcome
and
back.
Mimi. Be honest with me, at what point did you think that they were actually going to do it?
After the pistol round.
I would say maybe when they got to 6, when we had that 6-9 scoreline, that's when I started thinking like this is looking pretty nice for the boys. I think they're going to be able to run it back. And by God, did they. We talked about during that halftime how Finesse needed to step up, shifting over to that attack side Killjoy. The calls were so much cleaner. The desperation that we were seeing from them on the defending side, making the snap calls and having things just completely fall apart, it was gone. Everything was so crisp. They constantly had the right reads, and Finesse himself just kind of started rifling again.
And just everyone on this team showed up individually into that second half. Like Crashies in particular, I want to talk about this guy because he was having an insane impact in that second half. So many of those rounds where he was just taking a timing, finding a 2K, 3K, and just continuing to allow NRG to build this comeback.
Yeah, it was nasty from him, but of course you have to give a shout out to Sam as well because he was just instrumental. I mean, even when they were still pretty down and out, he was finding impact, but things have just been looking so much better for the energy. This is the core that we knew they could play like, you know, this is shades of Optic coming back through once they got on the attack side.
And I mean, this is one of those rounds that I thought was really impactful in kind of completing this because Koi started this off looking really good. They retook into Kitchen, they found that one on out, and excuse me, this is actually one where Crashies is just finding some of that impact on his own. This is a round he lost, by the way, but it's no worries because he was doing so much for the squad there. But yeah, I think Optic, that point you bring up around the calling is really important because back when it was the Optic times, it was always Finesse is the best caller ever, and I think people felt like maybe that now coming into NRG, they would struggle a little bit more with that, but it felt so well put together through and through.
Well, if there's any evidence that this is no longer Optic and this is just NRG, is that map pick and win rate on Icebox. Optic, back in the days, they have never picked Icebox at an international event. And Mimi, we were all really surprised as to why they did. Have they convinced you and shown you the stuff they've been preparing on this map?
Yeah, I think we need to wipe away the expectations that we kept for Optic and start thinking about what the expectations are for NRG because they've had quite a lot of time in the offseason to cook something up, and I think they proved it here on Icebox. They played really well. They were able to handle those kind of double reflanks that were continuing to come through. They were able to shut down the mid control. Every time Koi showed something new, this team had an answer for it, and that really impressed me for their first time picking this map.
Yeah, I mean, there's only going to be so many times that we're going to be able to actually pull old data for a lot of these teams because there are so many mishmashes. You know, we have the majority of an Optic core, so we can kind of look back on that. They still have the same coach. They have that IGL, so we can say, okay, Icebox, never something they really preferred. For a lot of other teams, we are not going to have that capability. So we have to use every little shred of info that we can as we go through this tournament and really have these first proper introductions to what all these new teams look like.
I mean, it is really a new year, a new team when it comes to the lock-in event. Also, the new player, Som. We're going to speak about him in a minute, but here he is in the Verizon high-speed moment of the match. This was absolutely insane, of course, just before the first half ended. I mean, I don't think any of us expected him to do this.
No.
I mean, that moment where you see the res coming out, he's still holding this back angle behind yellow. That is just moments before a disaster. You see it coming and there's nothing that you can do to avoid it. He just holds down left click, controls his spray, and just melts for the unofficial ace, I guess, counting the reds. But it was just brutal. I mean, a great way to go ahead and end out that half. And that was really kind of, I think, the big uplifting moment to drive some hype for energy to come back and run it back in that second half.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were doubtful of Sam coming into this roster. You're replacing Marv. That's going to be such a big shoe to fill. But he did a fantastic job at it. This guy has never played an international LAN before. That was his debut matchup, and he was dominating. W streamer, W player.
I found my
I mean, one of the players, though, that they did bring in, I gotta say, Optic 2.0, NRG, they can't win without Ye. They have just done it. They've just won a map without Ye. They got Artis in. Here he is in the aim lab shoot around. But I do want to speak a little bit about that because obviously FNS has mentioned they like the flexibility of Artis and the fact that he was managing to do that on Sage as well. Not even on his kind of more recognizable agents, Mimi. It bodes really well for this roster.
Yeah, it really did. I think that, well, it started a little bit slow, just like the rest of the team. Artis rebounded with them. And I think that's kind of the difference between him and Ye. We never really saw Ye playing that stage. Artis is a player that I think we will see play a lot more flexible roles than Ye used to on this roster.
I like that he's just having fun with this. He's just chatting up while he's also just basically hitting pretty much all of these shots. But yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a rebound. I'm excited to see what they're going to look like going into Haven. Do we get Artis on something where he can play a bit more aggressive, have some potential bailout tactics, whether it's a jet with that dash where you have the blast packs with raise, something like that. I would love to see. So hopefully not the Sage, because we want to see Artis go kill.
We do indeed, but let's talk about Haven here, because I start to think we're all kind of like, this could be a bit of a troll pick, but Haven feels like that middle ground, right, between these two teams. Coda traditionally, he loves this map. Optic also, they didn't struggle. I'm sorry to keep bringing them up, but as you said, there's not much else we could talk about when it comes to this team. But when it comes to those agents, again, are you expecting what we saw, Wolfen on the duelist, Shadow sticking to that Sentinel? Are you satisfied with at least what was happening on the side of Koi?
Yeah, so I think that there was some cool ideas with the Wolf and stuff. I think what they were doing on the attack, bringing in, breaking that turret, the updraft, like that kind of stuff, the reason to pick the agent makes sense to me. And he had some good individual moments there, but in the second half, I was not quite as impressed. You don't have a flash initiator in that comp. You only really have the Sova to set him up, and it felt like he was kind of struggling.
Yeah, it was just unfortunately a little bit brutal. I think he had a nice, decently hot start, and then it just kind of fizzled out from there once they got over to that attacking side. That's not necessarily his fault individually, obviously. Sure. The whole core of Energy was just playing, basically getting like every single correct read game over round over round. So it was just really difficult to try to play against that, but they are going to a comfort pick in Haven. This is their selection, so we need to see a leveled up performance from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Wolfen as well, I think even though that didn't work out too well in the first map, I don't think you go about and like, we're going to change everything, we're going to take him off that main role. No, this is his first match in VCT, not just an international event. He was a VRL player before this. You have to give him something that makes him comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, we can just see the Jet come out. A lot of people do favor the Raze on this map. It just really kind of depends on where he's going to be at. Where is his comfort level? Phoenix? Sure, why not? It's like the one map you can also get away with that on. But I think it's probably just still going to be some more Jet from him.
Yeah, that was kind of my question around this map, because last time we saw it back in Champions, a lot of teams were sticking by the Fade Raze compositions. Optic was experimenting with the Neon back when they were that squad, but now those changes have come through, and I think in some of the Challenger circuits, like you've talked about, we've seen way more Jet on this map.
Yeah, and let's not forget, they can run that double duelist if they want to, if that is the direction they want to go towards. Let's not forget, Sentinels back at Reykjavik 2020, where they like doing that on this map.
Bring this up.
Yeah, I mean, it works now. This is a meta where maybe you could get away with that, but again, there have been some role swaps, right? Not every single person is necessarily playing the agents that we like to see. But for NRG, do you think this is where they do perhaps close it out 2-0 if they can do what they did on Icebox?
That would be my expectation, but if Koi can rally here, it's a good map for them. If they can get their players focused up, this could be anyone's map still. Remember, we've seen one map from both these teams, but that is all we've seen. There's still a ton of questions going into Haven.
Yeah, I mean, curious to see what the select is going to look like at the end of all of this, but the one thing I think is certain is that Shadows is still going to be playing the Killjoy. He was looking phenomenal in that initial first half, and Haven and Killjoy just kind of go hand in hand, so I fully expect that we're going to be seeing a bit more of that. Likely maybe Breach as well from the opposite side, because I think both teams are likely going to be running this. So you want to have that counter util with the Aftershocks to be able to clear out those lockdowns reliably.
Yeah, and for Shados, it was his first time playing on that Killjoy, I'm pretty sure, back when he was running that on Icebox. But I think Killjoy is fantastic on this map because I believe nowadays, with the nerfs coming through to Breach, you can't even break that lockdown with the changes. It's so difficult to get rid of that ultimate now. So with most of the normal comps you'd see right on this map, you have no way to get rid of it. Killjoy is probably going to be the defining agent for maps like this, maps like Ascent in our current meta.
And I also just want to reiterate how important this map is, because we've only seen Koi play one map, and if they don't win here, that is it. They're going to travel all the way here and just play 2 maps, Mimi, and potentially get sent home.
It's brutal. It really is a brutal format, and I'm sure the pressure is mounting, but for that team, they just have to get the vibes up right now. You know, this is sure, it's an important tournament, but I'm sure their focus is going to be on getting ready, getting prepared, being the best team they can be going into the EMEA VCT League. So this is their moment to just showcase what they have, let loose a little bit, and try and find this upset.
Yeah, of course, they have big personalities on that roster as well. Let's not forget Starkso, the last times he was on the stage, he was singing, he was dancing. I believe they had like a collective group sing-song as well. But we are going to head into the Prime Gaming Agent Select here, where some of our Killjoy for the first time. Artist didn't even play a duelist on Icebox, but going into Haven, Seth, he will be.
Thank you, Artist, for answering my prayers. We get to see him go absolutely ham with the jet. Fully anticipating that Wolfen is just going to be keeping it as well, because we just have the highlights here, so.
Victor's moved on to the KJ. Interesting swap there. Victor was normally the dive duelist player on this map, but they are making that change where they're swapping this around to give that role over to Artist. That makes sense, but that does mean Finesse is moving to the Breach. He does love his Killjoy, but I think the Breach on this map gives you a lot as a caller to be able to kind of like set the play yourself, set your jet up for success pretty individually. So that kind of makes sense to me, but I am excited to see how Victor plays, because it's going to be a very different style in that Killjoy.
Yeah, it's not a debut for him. He has played it twice before, but like you said, his play style, how is that going to work on this Killjoy? And it's time for us to get into this map, and for me to pass it over to your casters, Pansy and Hypok.
Thank you. Yeah, plenty to talk about, but new map, new start, new agents coming out, new time to look at how these teams approach this. Mike, where are your eyes going to? There's a couple of names I'm starting with, but I'll let you go first.
I mean, I want to come back to that. We kind of hinted at the talking about the support system here for NRG.
Yes.
Now with Artis kind of stretching his legs now on the jet, this is where we can actually see what NRG have been working on, right? We can talk about the minimum amount of practice they can have coming in terms of anti-stratting. We know that's one of NRG's stronger points from last year.
That could be later. That's something to look at down the line.
But this here, I want to see Artis in action here, supported, especially with FNS on the breach here. Som as well, flexing across onto the Omen. A lot of questions have been answered from that first map in my eyes. Som's first step out here onto the stage, absolutely insane.
कास्टर्स कौन है?
ये साइड इट्स एन क्लोज साइड, ठीक है. केओ का सप्रेशन नाइफ जो है उसका एरिया कवरेज जितना ए साइड पे है, टास्क टू डू. हियर कम्स द इक्वलाइजर. वन गुड राउंड एंड यू आर ऑन द सिमिलर पेज जो आपकी ऑपोजिशन भी है. बस वेट
होने वाली है. एफएनएस बहुत ही काम कंपोज्ड और कलेक्टेड नजर आते हैं. नॉट अ वरी इन दिस वर्ल्ड. सॉम ही इज हैप्पी और कुछ नहीं, कुछ क्यों ना होंगे. आई मीन पिछले गेम के अंदर जो परफॉर्मेंस डिलीवर किया है, कोई के प्लेयर्स के हाथ कांप रहे होंगे.
बाय बाय इंग्लिश. भाई कॉपीराइट है, कॉपीराइट है.
अपने
उधर भी आवाज चालू है क्या?
That was the wave that NRG rode. That was Air Crashes and Victor are happy to just get down and dirty, deep on backside.
Yes.
Let's follow up on them.
There it is. So again, you're seeing some of those key win conditions hitting for some of these teams at such curious times. But it's mapped to, once again, thank you for your patience there. We kind of teased you a little again into the game, but now we are ready. The players are locked in. Everything is good. And now it's danger time for Koi, right? Life on the line, a round or two difference, and now they are in this position. On the defending side, we look at a couple of things. How does Wolfen look in this? Is he facilitated to the same degree? Can he have impact here? How does the rest of the roster slot around that? And similar questions for NRG.
Well, spin the wheel. Both teams here, heavy emphasis towards mid. Drones will trade off here. I think tags on both sides of it, but NRG not really going to find any damage to follow up on. Artist actually catching one as they drift away from the front of B. Just looking, yeah. Both smokes committed on the side of Som, so they're going to have to wait out here. Deep hold towards CT from Starzo and Coldamento. Actually, Starzo all the way towards backside, actually, ready with that fault line, but NRG will find themselves a wide open C site. No resistance on the way in here, so very safe plant. Should be open for long here. That's a retake coming through.
Yeah, this is early. This is super early. Not safe in those post plants either. They want to get the blood drawn now. Now, yes, Wolfen's on the side, but he needs to get a frag, and he does, but only one. The back line hits, and it's Shados battering down NRG.
Wow.
Gorgeous offset on the timing there on that retake, Mike. It was just in between that safety of the post plants being set up.
Literally on the back of that spike tap coming through. Koi are ready to explode on the back of that recon. Paranoia sent through. Actually got to credit Adsley. Their ability to hold on to that, all of that utility from that initial trade-off in mid. Beautiful stuff from Koi to open up round one here on Haven. Yeah, Wolfen just happy to lead the charge here for Koi as well. Goes 1 for 1, but my eyes open. What was that, Shados?
Yeah, no, trade me. It's fine. Shados, if you want to come in and do that, I will take the 1-for-1 trade on the site. Go ahead. Snap like that. Go ahead. Ooh, force buy. Okay. We've got the buys coming out. Stingers.
Still trying to ride those stingers.
Look. Fine. Not giving away too much just yet.
Well, this does actually have a Spectre as well.
Okay. So not cheap. Trex is in for a world of trouble here. And the panic, you can see it there. Didn't realize what he was up against by any means. And FNS with an early punish.
I love this smoke here just outside Bricks to deny the information. NRG happy to creep up behind it. And actually, yeah, the ping comes onto Hell here.
Yeah, Wolfen's in so much. How's he won that fight? Artists look good for it there. Maybe an outgun and over. Peek on it, but a quick trade, and FNS is keeping them in this game, but on towards the side. Starzo only going to get one. The trade's coming back in from Goldamenta. Victor there. They're on the side. They're still trying to battle it out. Shados can't do it again. And this time, NRG brawl it out.
So the fact that Wolfen lives there, like I said, the recon ping comes through just at the right time. Artists unfortunately can't find it, but luckily the spacing spot on from NRG. They're able to follow through on that space created by Artists in that cloud burst.
That's lovely.
So I love this smoke here. It just allows for so many different ways to approach this A-long. A little overzealous from Trex, I'm not going to lie, to go for that orb.
Yeah, it
with
felt
no
a
dart behind it, no drone behind it, no real confirmation of presence at all. But like I said, that smoke is there to deny information.
Yep. He'll be kicking himself for that, but an opportunity to turn it around, but a certainly substantial lighter investment back. We have frenzies, a couple of sheriffs, no armor behind it either, so if any damage does come in, it would be quite surprising. Still looking like they want to look like they're continuing the C piece, but already the rotation coming in.
I think NRG just immediately feeling that that's going to be either a stack or a very, very early rotation coming through.
And rightly read. Nice call. So completely free A site here. FNS feeling no pressure. Should facilitate the plant very comfortably.
Frenzy, 2 sheriffs to work with on the way back through, but Starzo tagged up. That fault line should be coming back online, and it is, yeah, the recon as well. So a couple of tools, but it's as if Koi might just be waiting for some exits here. Want to plant the seeds that maybe that there's going to be some sort of retake attempt to come through, but I don't think they want to give away any more ult orbs here in terms of the early progress made by Crashies, Victor, FNS.
So close.
Might just want to fall to the spike. A wise decision here from Koi.
Yeah, it looks like the right call. And now the commitment. Yeah, you're absolutely on the money, Mike.
I mean, you think about this here, this ultimately gives them potentially access to the Rolling Thunder, the lockdown, maybe
it's
even the
really
Hunter's Fury.
impactful ults that you don't want to be giving it up for free. So 2-1 as it stands. NRG, lovely turn in the second there. The punish on Trex, he'll be kicking himself for that, but again,
well, with that fumble on A-long, now I want to see what Koi's attempt is to control that. If NRG are going to kind of rely on this smoke as a default setup early on, I mean, what's the response from Koi? First time we've seen some emphasis towards A here in terms of numbers, but NRG aren't there to greet it. With that alarm bot placement here down the bottom of C long, I feel like this might even be a quick C piece.
Yeah, early operator coming out as well for Wolfen. Round 4, straight onto it. And you're absolutely on it this time around. C piece to be seen, looking at Shados here, committing to the site, and actually gets away with straight up murder until then. FNS with a quick trade, the Classic doing more than enough apparently. That's going to be gutting for them. But the site not quite fully under control just yet. FNS goes down, a little bit chipped towards Victor, but mostly gets away unscathed.
So numbers advantage here for Koi.
They're all on the site. NRG unable to back away from this. And yeah, Koi just collapsing on towards them. Victor, a 1v3 required. They're playing together on this. It's going to be rough for Victor here. Might get the first on one. They line up a little, but actually it's called a Menta. Keeps
the
it clean.
step back saves them there. And 3 will survive. Operator saved as well. I like the little swap out there for Wolfen to be able to dash back onto site. Nice little bait, actually. As soon as he dashes, Trex posted with that operator. Ready to punch up.
Yeah, in the aftermath, leaving us at 2-2 now. You look at the economy, still going to be fair enough. Yes, Wolfen might be a glass cannon into this, but again, still able to make that operator work. So on the other side, only Victor thus far going to get the ult going. FNS 1 away and Crashies 1 away. So still 2 very much on the cusp here. Could be something to note. Koi finding response. The C-site seems as though it was going to be a little bit of a pressure point that NRG wanted to look towards, and Wolfen this time willing to fight on towards it.
So it does. I was going to say, Wolfen crouching on the wrong side of Plat there, especially seeing as he's glass cannon with that recon pinging him. He was actually over on the left side of Plat there to try and avoid that dart.
We'll see how Shados handles this. We haven't seen too much flex through Garage just yet. We haven't seen that look come in.
Well, default shock dart to try and deal with potentially the alarm bot or something placed in the middle of Garage. Still that nano swarm on the door. I think that's on the back of the turret contact.
Yep. And it's a bit of a spray, doesn't really find too much for it, and we'll have to now rescind the control towards Garage release initially. No big hit towards the site, but now with that amount of utility coming in, they know that they've lost that. So many ults now coming through. This will be a full retake at this point. I'm looking to see what's anyone trying to work anything in him. No, this is all just going to be respect the plant. They'll probably push up a little towards CT. You've got a deeper Garage hold, but other
Concern
than that...
being, there's no flank here.
Nope.
So, Som's going to feel really comfortable at the bottom of C long here. Couple of members of Koi maybe looking to flank Garage, but with a double stack in there from NRG, this is problematic here. Haven't got that same pop from CT this time around.
They absolutely don't. There's very little pressure coming in unison here. Victor finally feels it coming in through the top of Garage. That looks like a high priority, and yes, the paranoia catches, so they do manage to start taking in towards Garage. Looking towards CT, they don't have to find the same success. Crashies holding them back with a second. And now Coldamenta needs to do some serious work. 3 is all he can find, and that's all he's gonna get. Starzo gonna take that operator out of there, and the 2 will remain. Som and Artist still alive,
Nice.
and NRG gonna make it to the 3rd.
If we see Koi continuously rely on this operator, I mean, we talked about credited their ability to swap it out to Trex previously, then Wolf and dash on, but I want to see some early round value from it. Now, whether or not NRG are doing a good job here of prioritizing towards C long, maybe trying to navigate away from Wolfen, but Koi need to see a return on this investment, because if they're going to play these retake setups, the operator becomes such a disadvantage for them.
Starzo currently has the operator.
Wolfen on the Blade Storm, yeah.
Okay. Want to see how that looks. Again, this is what we're just learning. It's just how do these teams kind of shape up here. Gonna hear that rattle through. Early utility to deny space.
And this smoke again.
I've actually slipped a player up behind it as well, so I'm going to play off the back of that and get quite early in towards sewers.
A big positive. Right, Wolfen's here with the Blade Storm. There's a recon bolt behind it just to clear the space. NRG might actually use that to advantage. Koi might feel like this is a little bit of a pump in the early round. Wolfen's going to have his hands full.
He's got to do well here. He needs it. And a 1-to-1 trade felt like he needed a little more, but Trex quickly on the case. Going to backfill that and take down Artist, so keep favorable numbers. 4v3 and they fall away.
Beautiful flash from Starzo there as well. All the way back from that CT arch. That actually gives Koi the numbers advantage here. FNS maybe just waiting on that fault line to come back. Still got 2 flashes to work with. But lots of tools at the disposal of Koi.
What?
Some had both smokes up there
yeah,
as well.
He had everything to play with still. Not sure if they felt that they had that for free. I'm not sure what the read was there. Maybe feeling Trex was the only one on the site, but again, the flash had to come from somewhere. Plants come in, but it's 2 to try and hold it. No flank on this either, all through CT or Heaven.
So FNS has to be super aggressive here.
How are you going to do so much damage? Yeah, Shados and Trex. Quick work, light work.
NRG feel like they got the read there, that Koi are going to rotate off A site, but certainly feels a little uncomfortable to see an Omen with both smokes available. Just shift walking out of short.
Dreamy for Starzo on the other side, obviously. Could ask for an easier start on that.
Maybe just looking to catch a timing on somebody, catch somebody off guard.
Thought maybe if it was faster, you could have caught when Trex was falling away from that potentially. Yeah, maybe not noting that there could be an additional player here if that could trade. Maybe feeling, yeah, after this kill he had the timing to maybe slip up, but there was a fair amount between that kill and the time they pushed up Sewer. Anyway, 3-3, opportunity now for Koi to build. Operator back in play, but it's called a Mentor this time with it. This is very curious. It's really being filtered around the place. Not sure how I feel about it. And it's off to a quick start for Artist. Straight through towards Sewer. Nothing to really deny him. You've got one player on the other side now, will be Shadow sitting deep towards CT. So this side will be theirs.
Well, I mean, they've got the lockdown. You can see they've got the Nano Swarm to try and just delay the plant a little bit, but there's already bodies in place here for this retake. I almost want to see the lockdown set up here as they've got actually the counter Nano Swarms for it.
Yeah. So looking to see what they try and make this work with. A swing and a jump just off the back of the contact, but great trades for Artis. Finding 2 being pivotal to this round. Make it a third. Artis dicing them up. And just holding towards CT, waiting for that next victim, that next player who dare do it. And no one feels that they can. Trex, ooh, damage done, yes, but unconfirmed. Artis can now back away, hopefully with his life. And the damage has been achieved here. That quick take towards A was perfect.
I think maybe Koi are just thinking there's a Hunter's Fury available, like there's too many things, we can't pin this retake around the lockdown, but then you got to question why that's the setup initially.
Yeah, if you're not going to play around it, maybe try and post up towards long, try and take the fight there. Not sure, but
like I'm saying, the one kind of way to make sure that you find some value off that is make sure that lockdown goes as basically as the spike is being planted. I'm making sure actually as well with Trax posting the Hunter's Fury, there's an opportunity to counter crashes. Yeah, lots of questions there. If that was the plan from the get-go, why they didn't follow through from that. Maybe just a frantic call. They had bodies there early enough.
When we look at these teams, they're not quite in that full form yet. We're still seeing a couple of those arrows being quite exploitative at this point. Mid-pressure seen this time. Starzo's got to be very careful here. That owl drone very much... Yeah, Starzo's lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
Very lucky to be alive. Yes, there was backup there, but again, early presence towards this B site has been pulling the rotations.
Force Starzo back into a fully supportive role here on 42 HP. So got some utility to work with. 2 away from that Rolling Thunder as well. And NRG regrouping towards C-Long. Wolfen, unnoted as of yet, but that operator is back online. Doesn't really have a second leg to this defense though, so...
I need to see around from him, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried here if he's going to be feeling a little rusty, but that's a great shot. Takes down Artist and slips away towards CT. They don't need much more than that. Maybe try and hold backside control, but that's about it.
Now
Spike's going to go down. You're absolutely
Potential
right.
here.
It should be the one.
Shadows is late though.
Yeah, didn't quite catch the timing on the paranoia there either. Stun not going to do it. Now Som left to his own devices. Actually able to get to safety, not punished either. Koi struggling to capitalize on some of this utility, and FNS feeling it, gets involved, loses his head, but takes down one with him.
Koi considering the safety, you can see already they're retreating.
It's enough. Yeah.
FNS. I mean, luckily he swings in there to try, I don't know, maybe to catch one off guard, but they're trying to retrieve the operator as well. Opportunity for him to just find 2 or 3 inside that smoke. A crazy play from FNS. I gotta say, I come out of that round scratching my head a little bit. Is that all on the back of holding on to the operator? They didn't even save that.
No, they didn't.
Another situation where the lockdown's available for a retake, and Koi have looked pretty good on some of these retakes.
Yes. It's just like they're missing that one step, that next layer, which kind of waiting to see that lockdown be part of. This was the first shot from Wolf and did manage to make it out, and sadly that utility, you can see it just not finding purchase there. And FNS just heating up, going in on it. It was enough to send them walking away though, so by all means 3-5
the
now.
question I
NRG.
have, at that point, are Koi looking to save that operator with 4 standing and a lockdown of it? That's why I come away scratching my head.
It felt like it. Which I don't know if I love just yet, but... And look at the pressure. Early pressure from NRG towards long. No subtlety about it this time, and 3 players on the other side. So they continue this way. Wolf and Drex both
Ready for
on
this
this.
flash on long here.
And yeah, this is when trouble aplenty. They can't escape the goal run! Oh, and it's a crash. He's catching them by the heels. Huge punish with the util coming out. Lovely combo work coming in with FNS. And now the sight's on the platter. Starzo has to respect it. This could be another 3-man safe.
It could be, yeah. This is one where actually don't even bother with that lockdown. Crash is still without Hunter's Fury available. Yeah, Koi already making their way over towards Garage. Not seeing that same level of confidence we saw on Icebox. They've been knocked just a little bit coming into this map too. And again, that pressure mounting with every round. Elimination looming here for Koi.
You can see the smiles creeping onto NRG's faces too. Crashy's starting to look
I mean, this is where they start to thrive, these players.
And you need this. It is a new roster, right? And all the practice is great. All of the, everything you do leading up to this, but it's about how you play in the game. The officials, there's no practice like officials. And seeing them getting confidence now, looking nice with the synergy, lovely combo work coming in. Beautiful, beautiful stuff so far.
That extends the gap to 3 rounds. It's another round that they're just forced to try and cling to these weapons. Very few positives to take away from some of these rounds for Koi. Love this creep up as well, and Koi almost in the right place at the right time. It looks like they're ready to pop off of a flash to clear long, but the Rolling Thunder posted just as they're about. I think it's going to come on the back of a contact of a smoke or something. If NRG put down a smoke on Heaven or towards Spawn, that's when they're going to try and clear through, but I'm just not seeing that decisiveness from Koi once again. It's crediting how proactive they were on Icebox and taking space back, denying space from NRG. Haven, a very different story now.
कैसी मतलब शायद
It's a 6-3 scoreline, but the nature in which these rounds are going, I'm already very concerned.
I think the concerns were
जॉर्ड मैजिकल और DRX दोनों में देखने लायक मैच. Fuck that shit. परसों का मैच. मजा आएगा भाई सच. Hype match, hype. परसों का मैच रहेगा एकदम hype.
Not like this, not against someone like NRG. They will continue to spiral. Their money's looking beautiful
They know they're winning the mental game.
Absolutely.
All that says to NRG is like they are terrified on the
they don't
retake.
even try it.
Yeah.
There's no negative for NRG in this. They are happy with that. Now for
Rushiba
Koi,
देखने गए.
you've got to also remember, I guess, to an extent, the mental impact from map 1. Losing in the fashion they did after being so close is incredibly heavy to deal with. Let's see if there's a change up after the timeout. Let's see what Barbar's got for the boys.
Got to see something from this 3-man setup on A.
Now the harder
initially
part,
here, brilliant. First tick in the box. Wolfen, does he get caught on the way back out? No.
Lovely.
Come away. Completely untraded first blood here, and it's Som to fall. No smokes available for NRG.
but they're already in on the B side somewhat. Coldamenta really keeping note of that though. Does find Victor, but it was Artis who slipped through. And yeah, Koi now starting to go through the motions. It's working perfectly. Koi looking comfortable now. And Artis last one alive. It ain't pretty, but he gets the job done. Coldamenta, no worries in that. And the difference there is night and day.
Yep.
Flawless round. Prime Gaming flawless round coming in 4-6. But this is when I was a little worried for Koi, because obviously, so let's say we came to the conclusion, a little bit more aggression and confidence behind it and commitment behind it could be a good answer for Koi. Obviously, if you're NRG, you're also aware of that. I was going to see a default, see if that would come in. But this was lovely from Wolfen. Job done, gets away.
The next question on the list is sustainability, right? How many times now...
Do you have that set up and ready for everywhere?
Yeah, you have that one opportunity to come out at the timeout, catch somebody off guard, disrupt that kind of default early on.
Look at FNS straight away. Looking to try and find the punish on this one. They sat ready for it though, turning the flash as well, and Wolfen just getting his head into this one. Straight in once, it doesn't get it, gets denied, and Artis sends him away. Playing his life too, does not fall on a trade.
Jet diff तो है.
Again, though, where's the second layer to that? There's two other members of Koi on A site, and Wolfen's the one to...
Desperate for it.
I mean, you never want to be the person to have to dash on and take a 1v1 with Ardis, but...
No. Okay, I don't mind this, though.
Hats off to the kid. He's going to hear this alarm bot as well, I think.
Yeah. Well...
Does anybody see this smoke? They're going to see it when they get past these boxes.
Coldamenta, I feel like he's dead here. Yeah, absolutely dead. NRG's timing could not have been better. Falling away from this Coldamenta, maybe feeling they were still meandering around A long, and there actually are still two players here.
Som's going to get a dirty lurk behind this.
They're double pump.
They're going to deny them from saving.
Yeah, look at that. Perfect read again. Just backfilling this off the contact towards long. They knew that they'd have to respect that and pull those three players back to potentially deal with the C hit. There was a lot of players seen. So again, this is perfect calls, lovely reads. But actually, Starzo still sharp for one, but he needs a bit more. There's still 4 players alive here, and you're down to Trex and Shados. They've been sitting, playing for these, you know, saves and trying to keep these weapons up. And Trex is still desperate for it because Ardis was maybe overheating a little in that. We're trying to punish Trex again. Still dancing around, but he's got 5 HP. There's only so much one man can do, and it's all but done. NRG pull it right back in.
So we're starting to see some of these plays that we're kind of talking about, right? There's smiles on the faces from NRG. This updrafting into the Aldrone on Heaven. Coming into the last round here. Have that operator available. Everything but the Hunter's Fury for Koi. Again, NRG firmly in control of this half.
But 4-7 isn't a terrible half if they convert the last round.
I mean, wow. I hate the fact that we're in round 12 and we're still talking about the same lockdown I was 7 rounds ago. And we've seen a couple of setups for a retake. Yeah.
Well, no point saving now. In we go, site now taken. Ardis plants the flag there and actually takes a scalp off of Trex. What a shot. Trex looks so unaware there was even a chance of that, and Coldamenta chomping at the bit to try and maybe find a fight through CT, no. And we're actually going to see the lockdown coming in, but this time it's
all a fake.
Yep. Oh my god, the spike's over towards A. Well, and you still got the slip through here as well from Ardis. He's still doing them dirty. Victus already. NRG. This is perfection from them. And now Starzo.
Starzo doesn't know where it's planted. He doesn't know where it's planted.
Lost
oh no.
and confused.
It's painful. Yeah.
Yeah.
The pennies dropped. The pennies dropped. And this is the thing, NRG just absolutely running rings around Koi. That's a really uncomfortable finish to that half.
Yeah, that will take the wind out of your sails by a country mile. You had to respect it, right? By all accounts, it looks like they're in the site. There's a lockdown. There's Ardis over and towards Garage, but all in the meantime, they're still holding mid. They're still slow creeping towards the A site. And they're gutted for it.
I think Barbar knew it wasn't safe.
I think he was also aware. I think shake it off 4-8. It's still a better half than the first map technically, but it's the way it looked, Mike. It didn't look pretty, but that's for the desk now to talk about.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypok. Yes, a much better half for NRG.
आठ 4 है क्या बोलते हैं गाइस क्या होगा hard disk
on the side of Koi going into this last half, because Pansy and Hypok, if they don't, they're going home.
That's the beauty of this tournament, the brutality of it all. For something so beautiful as NRG's comeback on map 1 to exist, the potency of it, the capability to pull it off, it has to be this dangerous, this much on the line for it. So we go back in the second half. Koi with 4 rounds to the name, NRG with 8. How much can Koi do to pull this game back in? Can a third potentially come through here? Or Energy just a little too sharp?
Be able to get this plant down. Stars are eating that first shot. Now the second might even find him. Somehow skips away.
They're trying to crunch, so look at this off-tempo hit. I love it, trying to catch the players who are still on the side, which they might just do here. Victor, lovely, gonna get one, but a quick trade from Wolfen. Still standing, can't stand much longer. The site now waving the NRG banner as Koi relegated towards long, but can they hold this plant? Som's on it, he ain't moving, he's looking pretty safe right here.
No.
Som ain't gonna move. Oh, Trex! He got him off it, and now Crushy's with Trex! You absolute god! Saving Koi in the first round, in the second half.
I don't want to see how close it was to the diffuser.
Show me it again,
I
please.
don't even want to know.
I want to see it, I have to.
I mean, thank God, because that would have been the worst way for the second half to start. Would be 3 people sat at the bottom of C-Long going, oh, he's stuck it.
Still diffusing.
Yeah, he's stuck that.
Someone ping the spike. That was so good. Trex. Bloody hell.
I got to say it again, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. That sort of round, it doesn't really feel like there's going to be sustainability, right? You don't get given many of them against NRG.
No, you don't. But again, also it shouldn't have come down to Som pulling off the pseudo ace.
Yep.
So you know what? If that's what it takes, if that's the spark, then so be it. Bring me something, Koi. Show me a little bit of that fire here. We have a great idea. We've got some incredible players. Can they close the gap? NRG coming back into this, respecting the second round here. Not the force back in, nothing really. I think, yeah, just a frenzy for Artis, and that is it. So you want to be looking at Koi, 5 alive, plant coming in. You cannot make errors now. You're on this attacking side with the scoreline as it was. It's precarious. And it didn't feel like a good first half. So let's see if the recovery's there. But again, do they feel the stack? There's 4 players here. Do they care?
I smoke with the Som as well, just to try and deny this dash through from Wolfen, but it's actually Trex to find it. FNS will find a response actually, and is that weapon retrieved?
No,
There's
no, this is such an error. Artis is still alive, but it's only Artis, and thankfully, Shados was still alive. The turret will at least give away the game. That got so dangerous. For a second there, it could have swung.
For a moment, I think that was a rifle retrieved on site. And again, they still have that safety net of Som smoking off that cross towards default, gives them a little pocket to deny Wolfen and really actually disrupt that spacing behind it. Luckily, Trex, I think, finds a kill through that smoke.
Wolfen made a bit of a meal of that as well, looking kind of panicked. He was under a lot of pressure at the start there, but I want to watch this again.
Yeah, this kill right here. Trex really the one to deny that rifle coming back to bite Koi in the ass, honestly.
What a hero. From the first round to this already, starting to try and mitigate the danger. But you've got to say, NRG are always dangerous. They're finding little bits and pieces. Som, are you trying to set this into motion?
This chunky paranoia if it's thrown.
Could be huge. How dare you do this to me? I've been absolutely debated. And now it's a little too late, Som! You got to run, you got to try and hide. Yeah, luckily a little bit of utility behind it. Can the utility to slow that roll if they're trying to maybe springboard into that? They can at least dismantle that first hold here.
So what the second step to this round is for Koi. Not much achieved off the back of that information. And actually, NRG already completely reshuffled their formation.
But I love this, posting up Som, deep on C-Long.
Yeah.
You have a proactive, not hyper proactive, but you know, at least taking a potential fight here. Crashies. They're keeping great information on the extremities, which is still very kind of telling that they're still working mid. They're still towards garage.
I mean, what are Koi waiting for though? Finally, they're going to drift back into garage here. The alarm bot was dealt with earlier. Still a turret to catch this contact, but yeah, the clock really has run down here. And the spike is long, so. Okay, Cold just finds a drive-by. Yep, round saved.
There we go. That's exactly what you depend upon. But the 3 players left alive. Anything to look at here? Not really. They're not in a position to really challenge. Plant comes in. Be nice to recover some of these rifles if possible. You can see Starzo already looking towards that. And yeah, at this point, just keeping what they have. Now when we here's the thing. People look at it and go, well, they won the round, so what's the problem? You're looking at trying to give
I come back to that there. It's Coldamenta coming up. The second player on C long there with the spike is Trex, who's kind of bound to his utility there ahead of that execution. If someone wins that 1v1 with Coldamenta...
Wolfen couldn't have swung. He couldn't have made it around to be able to swing long either. He was coming out of garage. There's no way that timing would have worked for him.
So it's, again, by the finest of margins that actually Koi find this, but it's going to put them within touching distance.
It certainly does.
And that's the bottom line.
And that's big. Taking one of the rifles away makes these kind of reinvestments incredibly difficult, and Trex desperate to do damage. Oh, it's down 25, looking like they're going to hold it. Okay, nice, yeah. Keeping the 2 rifles, but that's all they're going to get. On the other side, the reinvestments are fine. Their economy's in a pretty decent spot for Koi now.
How far can Koi take this?
They need
CNRG will ride this one out, so it's almost given. We're going to have a tie game here.
Let's go.
I'm here for it.
Look, I'm already sweating, and it's not even because of the game. All right, it's about to get a little heated in here. But you're right. I want to see Koi play percentages, and when we say that, it's such a boring statement to make. Maybe for those not in the know, it is a percentage-based game.
Explain it to VLR for us.
I was going to at least flame
Put
Reddit,
it in
not
VLR terms.
No, you put in VLR lower than Reddit? That's
yeah,
crazy.
I am. Yeah, that's
You're wild for that one, Mike. Your mentions are going to be a little rough for a while, but you know what? Now, at this point, it's just, I want to see Koi try and play at least percentage Valorant, where you're giving yourself the best chance possible.
The way they did on Icebox, I got to say,
correct, that attacking side.
Yeah.
Oh, divine. But remember how low that clock was as well with that spike on long. That's kind of like tied all together. It was about 30 seconds at that point. Yes, Wolfen won on the site, but I'm a little bit worried at this sort of conjuncture if this starts going wrong.
Yeah, and the question comes back to kind of just thinking back to what was happening. I mean, Starzo's kind of waiting for a flash, waiting for something to, you know, NRG to show themselves, expose themselves somewhere. And that's why I'm kind of left questioning why then the audible comes the, yeah, let's re-hit garage, re-clear through garage. Whether or not Starzo is going to plant a fault line or a flash outside B just to kind of plant the seed of doubt, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, but we're talking about percentages. I want to see them be diligent at trying to clear towards A, because they walked into the stack before, and if they do this again, there's now a little bit more potency behind it. 4 players here, and they felt enough pressure. They're not sticking around on this, and that's the right read, considering NRG had 4 players moving down towards long with utility behind it. Now, Victor on the other side, what does he have? It is just the Stinger. I say just because of where we're at right now. He's going to hear these steps. He's going to call it out. Wolfen.
Spacing again. Wolfen is half a mile ahead of the rest of the team. And he's punished for it.
And it's given them a way back in. Yeah, yes, there's still utility with Koi, but there's the same to be said with NRG, and they've got a couple of guns here. Artist has the rifle, as does FNS.
Artist actually being given a second or third shot. Thank God Shados finds that headshot.
That was getting sloppy, getting messy, and now they're losing out numbers. Strex going to try and at least bulk up some of the defense on towards C long, and by all accounts, it's looking okay. FNS is going to have to try and find 3 sitting pretty deep towards long. I think he knows that rifle is more valuable than the chance of him being able to convert into this round here.
Even there with that completely untraded first blood, which is a real concern. I mean, if anybody else is there to kind of solidify that C site hold with Victor, then it gets really concerning.
Oh god, could you imagine a swing from the back of Plat or something like that?
I mean, we've questioned this a few times. Wolfen has been great for this, you know, creating space, but there's been a couple of rounds where Koi, they're stacked up as 4 on long there. Like, somebody should fill that gap. Somebody should fill that gap.
It feels like we have been complimenting him the way he's been approaching it, but it feels very selfless, but also then, okay, then work off the back of the benefit of him either taking that space or dying potentially. It's like you can benefit from it, even if he's just, you know, going head first for halos. I'm kind of hoping we see a little bit of that. Maybe he's playing ahead of the timing they want. Maybe he's the one who's a little offsetting this. Again, you're working with new players on stages. Wolfen is not an experienced
player. It could
player.
be a synergy that can be tweaked further down the line.
Oh,
a bit of a switch up here though, Ardis.
Ooh, he's sticking around. What's going to force him off this?
He knows about the cross as well.
And Ardis is a nasty player with this operator. Pull the trigger on the 3rd second. Real close to it as well. And he feels that's a pressure point. Time to back away now. Does want to give that pendulum swing over towards Koi, who is still willing to try and take back this long pressure.
They're happy to fight for this as well. And actually, Victor's here with the lockdown available just in case things go wrong. Trex does have the Hunter's Fury for it.
Artist hasn't fully fallen away either. He still wants this one pick. But this is going to burn so much utility if they are diligent about this. But I'm worried it's just going to be Wolfen taking a wonder.
There's no fault line. Now there is. Star's fault line just coming back online as I said that. So the flash available.
Okay. Adjusting long, finds Shados, it's gorgeous. NRG posting up pretty aggressively on these angles. Not sitting deep by any means, and actually not falling back. But they have lost side control. So unaware, didn't even turn. Didn't even look towards it. And now just two on the site here, surrounded. No comfort to be found. Maybe can fall away too long, but they need to win a fight and find some safety somewhere. The chip damage coming out from Trex could have given them a second to breathe and think, but it ain't going to be for long.
Set up here for the utility as well. Trex forced a little closer towards spawn. Actually not caught by the paranoia though.
He needs to, he might be good. Oh, FNS keeps on running and Trex just falls. Stars are a 1v4. Position is pretty considered. They had players in sewer, they had CT dealt with. There's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. He's dead and buried. NRG smothering Koi now.
A little bit of a switch up here. Artist on that operator creating some problems for Koi to overcome. Actually, it's the second layer. Victor to find that follow-up kill here to really shut down A site. Said again, it's a little awkward with these smokes, creating pockets to play behind here.
Yep.
And NRG playing off them time and time again. We saw it in the attacking half as well. So credit really to Som in that regard.
Let's go on RG.
Just mixing things up and leaving Koi guessing. Like you said, Coldamenta none the wiser to somebody drifting back out of that smoke.
RG to NRG.
8-9 though, scoreline still close enough.
Still got to buy behind this for Koi as well. Blaze Storm to offset that. So you're almost looking a little healthier behind this purchase than NRG are.
Let's get that spacing right with Wolfen here. Ardis, present. Sees nothing beyond this though. That's just garage control taken.
Previously this ended up on a re-hit towards C. This is when Koi paused outside waiting for that utility cooldown, but it looks like Crashies might be tested here on A long. The owl drone is from very, very deep in spawn, so not going to get deep information. Actually, the response is there from Crashies, and he should find info, yeah? Yeah, absolutely. The Hunter's Fury to slow things down. It's a double tag!
This could be massive, and it is Crashies finding Coldamenta.
Another 2 tags!
Just to make sure he's safe. Look at the time! Hesitant. They've got 35 seconds, and they've got no information. They've got nowhere to go.
There's still 2 on C, Lauren.
Garage is a player in it. Wolfen's running into his death. He has no idea. They already cleared it earlier, but Som's here. Perfect play from Som.
My God.
Positioning divine. He's read the round. And now Trex, it's a formality again. And Som played that so well. The positioning was great. Credit to Crashies. You cannot question that round.
That is poetry in motion from NRG there. Crashies with the Aljo, just finds the blind tag. There's the Hunter's Fury. I think the reveals another 2 or 3 players. Insane value from that ultimate. And then, you know, everybody barreling towards this C site hit late on behind the lockdown. 3 of them are -80.
Yeah.
They're squishy walking into Som in garage. A beautiful round. So well structured from NRG.
That was really
and that's
nice.
Crashies on an island.
I cannot fault how he played that.
I mean, also as well, just to note, Victor has a supportive role there. Even if Crashies doesn't find anything off the Hunter's Fury, the lockdown is immediate.
It's there. No doubt to it, no second guessing.
If they kill Crashies, they can't take side.
Exactly, that's time for rotations. We can still, it's great foresight. They're so aware of what they need to achieve. They instantly bail their player out. How many times are we saying, Shados is on an island, where's the support? Finally, yes, Trax did come through on map 1, but again, this sort of synergy is what you expect from that core coming in.
But it's the confidence as well behind that setup from NRG. Two people just absolutely cemented on C site. Som drifts into garage, tucks into a dirty little off angle. I think finds 3, maybe even 4 by the end of that round.
Yeah, he pushed out for it.
But it's the confidence that NRG have that's going to pay off.
They're playing so well here.
Unfortunately, quite with the way this map has gone as well, it's another round that just feels like they're chasing their own tail.
They're feeling very red. Even that close owl drone, it feels like they're feeling so red in this game, and NRG weren't even there. They were just in the right places behind it. But again, we go through. We look at what we've got here. Wolfen depending on the knives. Everyone else able to fashion a purchase. Operator's still in the hands of Ardis. Not really had to see that sing just yet, but it could be the round now. Wolfen first on the chopping block, potentially. Ardis. Maybe a test for him here. Flash goes up and the swing. Uncharacteristic miss, but a second bite of the cherry. He knows he's under pressure. Wolfen trying to close the gap here, chase them down. They're actually going to slip out through CT. All the players backing away from this one.
So yeah, do have the Rolling Thunder available for this. Do they opt to actually pull the trigger here as the plant comes through? Starzo maybe going to get pinned onto site here.
He's in trouble. He's in real trouble. Wolfen wins one fight towards Garage, but it's an absolute bloodbath in favor to NRG here. Back on the side here, Wolfen needs more. Needs massive impact. He ain't going to get it. Shados needs it. Doesn't get it either. It's NRG clean on the play back in. And now it's 11 calling. And NRG willing to answer. They are looking good, Mike.
Well, the response is there in the second half. Have to see how it lies here for Koi. Again, questions start to rise now about the funds. Still got 3 ultimates to work with. It's not a comfortable purchase. And they're really at a crossroads here. A 3-round deficit, NRG knocking on the door of map and series point, elimination point for Koi.
Yeah, we can't stress enough how hard this is going to be. And the buy's changed already, Mike. If you caught a glimpse of it before, they're going like armors, they're going rifles, they're trying to scrape this together. They know they need this round. It's been 3 on the trot now for NRG. It's time to wake up for Koi. They have to try and pin all these pieces together that have been lacking. And Som, respecting this hit, needs to get the hell out of danger. C-site is theirs. Spike is on the way.
Don't have the same opportunity for the retake here. So Koi just felt like that was the one thing that went wrong for them. It's an open plant, nano swarm down. Wolfen going to entertain the idea of sticking around for it. Actually, Shados considering the lockdown here.
But look at the flank. 4 players on the flank, and Trax is util in hand. There's no one here. If he crests that corner, that's 2 caught with the paranoia. It's going to call all the players in. Starzo takes a whole lot of damage. He's down to 6 HP. They got to buy time. They got to do something. Golden-Menta dives into the jaws of it. Trax stunned. NRG battering them down. And a 3v2. Wolfen and Starzo still alive in a switch of position. Som dips in towards the site, avoids the stun. Still fighting, still standing, tapping on the spike for Wolfen. He's behind both of them. Find them.
Oh my god.
What a time for the young gun to find some form.
Everybody falls though, and that was the forced purchase from Koi. They're going to come out of that licking their wounds. Going to have to scrape together another purchase. Further investment here in terms of the ultimate. But it's do or die, and they deliver around here. They find their knight.
He was desperate, clawing into this, and I mean, it was just manic.
I mean, thank God for this. Starzo was on, what, 3 HP as well there.
Just bleeding, the walking wounded, unable to do too much. 9 to 11. What buy do they have this time? Oh, Spectres. I think it was only like 2 rifles I saw as well. So getting harder and harder to make this one work, and it looks like a rinse and repeat, running back from the last round. Som dips to CT. You can see the site taken. Wolfen and Shados need to have impact here. Trex has his ult as well. And we're going to see the plant coming through.
You say with a couple of Spectres, they can't actually rely heavily on this long setup either.
But they're all going to it.
I mean, it's only the Hunter's Fury to play off here.
Tell me they're going to get proactive through mid. Tell me something, Mike.
Tell me they re-clear Garage. It looks as if there's going to be Shados and Golden-Menta going that way. Victor immediately punished. Hunter's Fury posted. That's going to catch Starzo and Trex, actually.
And the counter roll comes in. They need some value, and it's fallen by the wayside. Trex and Golden-Menta, the last 2 alive.
He's
the defuse. He ain't moving. He's going to hold this one down. It's all falling to pieces.
Oh, no.
Right in front of their eyes. 12 for NRG, and Koi are left in tatters.
It's almost the same as the way this half started as well. Like I said, with just Hunter's Fury and three or four Spectres even in the mix there, it doesn't feel like a comfortable position to sit all the way on C-Long. And the thing is here, Golden-Menta is the second layer of that flank, but as soon as he shows his hand, he's dealt with. Coming to this and it's looking even bleaker. A Blade Storm to work with now, but scraps, odds and ends thrown into this for Koi. 1 rifle in the hands of Trex. And they're looking to spin the wheel. B-site will be their focus point here.
There's so much of it on the ground still. Wolfen's going to take a fair amount of damage here. Softened up, comfortable for Victor. No sweat for him. The smoke into play, and Koi gets sent back. They did not find the impact, but they can't even quickly springboard. Still util in towards Garage. Position now noted. They're not finding what they need here, but a quick flex towards C. Again, do they dare keep doing this? And Victor, he's on the hunt. He's feeling confidence. He's got the boys beside him. Trex on the flank can only do so much. Finds one. What is that from Victor?
Oh my god!
What in God's name is that? Ornamented out, surrounded. He's dead. He's buried. And Victor sends him to his grave.
What the hell was that from Victor? To close out Haven. Absolute insanity. But NRG comfortably closing things out, sending Koi home on day one here in Sao Paulo.
They got made to work on map 1. Map 2, they came alive. They make it out of the pit here. This is fatal. And I've got to say it, Koi looked good in glimpses. You saw potential. You saw map 1 look incredible. And there they are on the screen. A glimpse at what is to come for this side. Huge potential. We have to give credit. Trex, big performance from him in my eyes. We saw a couple of shade offs, of course. Amazing work on map 1, but they lost out the longer this series.
I mean, dare I say, I think Trex actually finished top of the scoreboard overall for both maps. So absolutely insane performance from him as well. Wolfen having actually a pretty impressive map too. Couple of questions on the second layer there for this Koi composition, actually this team as a whole, but he definitely delivered here. Yeah, 14 and 20 on the.
Thanks for tuning. जिसने देखा लाइक करो, शेयर करो. मिलते हैं अपन कल. कल किसका मैच है मालूम है? अच्छा मैच है कल. कल DRX का एक मैच है और मेरा फेवरेट वन टैप गॉड स्क्रीम का मैच है, तो देखते देखते चलो बाय बाय. एंड कर रहा हूँ स्ट्रीम. मिलते हैं अपन कल. बाय बाय.